Hello, everybody, and welcome to Greyhawk channel. I am so excited to be back here tonight with the campaign Birthright of the Pomarj. But let's go around to cast and crew and let them tell you who they are and what character they are going to be playing. And we're just going to go right on down the line. First up is Chris. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Hey, how we doing?
You know, I'm doing pretty sweet. I just got done rolling some more dice, and I'm here to roll some more dice.
Awesome. What was I saying? Oh yeah,
You know,
hi,
who you are.
I'm Chris, aka Pangalactic on Twitter, and I'm going to be playing Dren, the Placeless, the Orc Bard, who doesn't have much to say a lot of the time.
I don't know. He has
But
things
might
to
have
say.
some thoughts tonight. After last week.
Yeah, for sure, right? Awesome. Well, excited. And you gave us your character's name, right? Oh, yeah, you just said Dren. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And right on down the line to Miss Lauren.
Hello. Yes. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm That Salty Ginger over on the Twitters, and tonight I am playing Ricky Thorngage, a halfling monk who decidedly is not. She's not super chill, guys. Right now, she's covered in blood, like washing off in the rain. So if that's your definition of chill, then she's chill. Doesn't sound like my definition of chill, but we'll see. We'll see. Carl's still alive.
Yay.
For now.
Carl is still alive and kicking. Thanks actually to all of you. Let's be real. It's you guys kept him alive in our last little combat, which we'll get to shortly. I'm gonna be switching cameras here because I got them all wrong. I'm clearly a professional. But next up is Scott. Scott, how are you today?
Doing good. My cat is
I
now
was
on
about
the
to say,
shelf.
You got a kitty.
Yeah, she's gonna go up there and knock stuff down because I'm not paying attention to her. It's fine. Hi, I'm Lauren Scott Peterson. On this stream, I'm Scott. I'm doing good. Played some Heroes of the Storm today, so that was fun.
Oh, very nice. How was that?
Yeah, and I had like 3 bad matches and a good one. You know, typical. You know.
The use.
Yeah. No, I am returning again this week as Dristan Traherne, everyone's favorite curmudgeon cleric.
Yeah.
And I think words will be had tonight, as we all imagine.
Oh, I can only imagine. I can't wait to hear these words too, because I'm all for the drama. Bring on the drama. Killer, and skipping over Miss Lauren, who has already done it, and to the very end to Paul. Paul, how are we today?
I'm tired. Hello.
Yeah.
My name is Paul in123, and I'm super excited to get back into this. I'll be playing Ural, the lovable pacifist orc who clearly has no tendencies whatsoever to immediately jump the gun and swing his mace. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'll be playing Ural, the orc paladin, and I'm excited to see what kind of trouble he kind of gets into, since he made a rash decision last week, which, I mean, I personally would not have done, but
But he sure did, and for good reason, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there's a reason. Whether or not the reason is explained, we'll find out.
Wait, I'm sorry, Paul. Are you telling me that you wouldn't murder someone? That seems extreme.
You know, now that you verbally say it, I'm kind of like, but yeah, we'll see if things are unfolds for Ural tonight. It'll be interesting. I'm pretty hyped, pretty excited.
Yeah.
And let's freaking do this.
So what in fact do we remember from last week? Yeah, what is it as a collective you guys recall from last week's events, and I'll fill in some blank spots. I'm interested to hear what you took away. Well, we know you took some rash action towards the end, but how did we get to that point?
I think, if I remember, we gathered together and was given an assignment, and we made a decision to, was it to travel south along the cliff sides?
Correct.
That's what it was, yeah.
And there should be a map open actually in Roll20, and I'll kind of recap that. You're correct. We were headed south. So the let me do it on the actual live one, the one that you guys are staring at. So our lovely band of adventurers met actually in the heat of battle on opposite sides of a wall. And due to the disappearance and kidnapping, knows at least one of our party, of Turash Mok, the leader of the Orc and Orckin's army. So, when you left, you guys followed the river actually west. You guys left us last time. Yep, came west, down, and you actually stopped right here outside the city of Eubanks. And the plan, if I remember correctly, is actually to follow out of Eubank down here and then continue forth to your final destination, which is Greyhawk, the capital city of the Principality of Ulick. And you guys did have, in fact, a special mission, if you would, that was given to you to go meet two people, in fact. And you had the letter to accompany it. But along the way, one must stop to rest, as you all did, right outside of Eubanks, actually, underneath a bridge there that crossed into the city across the river. What happened?
I don't know.
Me and Carl, we educated Carl after we saw a drunk man who we did not ride with in the back of his moonshine wagon.
Correct.
Then we took shelter. We educated Carl on many, many different things, specifically what happens to 14-year-old boys when they go into the woods by themselves.
Oh, yeah.
It's not good.
You guys saw some interesting things there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a hot elf werewolf lady. She liked me. I think her name was Alara. Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
I freed her because I'm super altruistic all the time. So I freed her, and she was very mysterious, and I liked that. And then I took Carl back.
This is all true. More than just mysterious, she, if I remember correctly, was a wolf, and then she was an elf.
Yeah. So I decided she was a werewolf.
Yep.
That's what Ricky decided.
That's what Ricky So, yeah, you guys basically heard something in the woods just off where you had decided to camp for the night. It was, of course, this wolf. You saved her. She did change into an elf, and she gave you some kind of tidings to avoid these areas in particular. And while you lot slept that night, some footsteps were heard coming down the path.
Yes, they were.
Little gnolls. I say little gnolls. They weren't little.
Gnolls.
There's big, dirty gnolls.
It's factually accurate.
So, yeah, the big, dirty gnolls. You guys, in fact, actually, the first time around, diplomacied your way out of a big, dirty gnoll fight.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
That would have been nice.
That would have been nice. But that is not what happened. Because as they passed by, the other orc in your party.
Dren.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That it's all Dren's fault. Ulick, in fact, saw something on them. And what, in fact, is it that you saw there?
So I saw, or I didn't see. You all saw a specific insignia on the back of one of the gnolls, which represented something called a hunting clan, where they were specific on their basic philosophy is to hunt and kill innocent people or innocent creatures for sports. That on top of insulting of Turash and all of that kind of may have pushed Ural a little bit over to the edge, figuratively and literally, and he, he may have jumped the gun and kind of just went swinging.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, you leapt out of the ditch onto the embankment full speed.
Yeah, it was kind of an impulse move, not fully thinking. He's kind of a hothead, you know what I mean? He's kind of a he's kind of like a very, very temperamental, easily triggered person, especially when it comes to specific buttons. Yeah. And it just so happened in that one situation, all of his buttons were pushed in that one situation. So. Yeah,
it was almost too much between probably the battle that you had the night before at yeah, just a little over a few hours before, actually. So it makes sense. And you did, in fact, snap to go into combat. You guys killed the gnolls. And I want to think we were left with it starting to rain, as all of you took shelter in the bridge and left Carl to move the bodies.
Correct.
And then we found Carl.
A use for Carl.
Yeah, while Carl was moving the bodies, something fell out of one of the gnolls. If I remember right, I think it was a letter.
It's about the Dark Brohood.
Yeah.
Remember what it said?
Ricky picked it up, right? I think.
Yeah, I totally remember what
It said
said.
that.
Where are my notes?
It's okay.
I didn't make notes on that.
100 gold for any orc or half orc that supports Tarash Mach.
Yep.
Ha, nailed it.
It was a bounty note for basically any orc and half orcs that supported Tarash Mach. I can't remember if you shared that with us.
I did at the very end. I shared what I had been finding about the Dark Brohood.
So it could be rightfully assumed that these lot were in fact hunting, as they were hunting those that supported it, which in fact 2 of our 4 did. And you guys finished out your evening almost in silence after the combat, after a long battle, like I said, less than 24 hours before, just really took it out of you, along with the trek. Now, you were given horses, but safe passage was needed, and because you're traveling with 2 orcs, full blood, you decided it might be better to avoid the city of Eubanks, at least in terms of staying for the night.
Yeah.
Who took final watch? Was that you?
I think it
I
was
on first.
you were on first,
Me.
and it was me that saw the. Oh no, you woke me up, didn't you? I think I was taking final watch.
Well,
I don't think it was established. I think after everything.
We got attacked in the middle of the night, right? Also, how's my gain? Is it better?
much better. Yeah,
Yeah,
much
okay,
better.
cool.
Yep.
Alright.
You don't sound like you're peaking anymore. Yeah, it's a lot clearer.
Good.
Yeah. So, I want to think it was Ulick that did I get that right? Yeah, that stayed up. But the night passes very quietly. It does take Carl a few hours to get these bodies well hidden. It's not the first time he's had to hide bodies. He seems to be kind of a pro at it, so at least we know he has a good use now.
That's a little disconcerting.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
I mean,
He's useless at everything, but he's a pro at hiding bodies.
nobody's
He's
asked.
alright.
What?
I'm calling it. He's a member of the Dark Brotherhood. He's gonna stab us all in our sleeps.
We're gonna die. That's a twist.
He can try.
I mean, he did. You do
I
know he
never
was a
sleep.
squire to the person that was on guard at Celine Pass. So
It's true. He must be trained in all the squirely arts of shoeing horses and hiding bodies.
Yep.
I don't have
well,
words with
he's
this
also
Carl.
trained in the squirely way of cooking breakfast, which is how you all
Ooh.
wake
Ooh.
to the smell of bacon or some kind of meat, and basically warm coffee at the campsite. Now, it has rained through the night. Now it is a light drizzly mist over everything, and the sun comes up behind gray and dark clouds. It's a dreary morning. The roads from the rain are muddy and wet, and the ditch that you're in does in fact run a small creek which has risen through the night. So if the smell of breakfast doesn't wake you, your wet boots will.
That better be the gnolls that he's cooking.
No. Hey, Carl.
Good morning, everybody. I made breakfast.
That's so
Great.
great.
Oh,
I'm so happy.
would you like some?
Yep, totally. That sounds so good. She's
Mhm.
stretching, like she's like cracking like every knuckle.
Are you still covered in like dry blood?
A little bit. I think the rain got like most of it off, but it's definitely still like on parts of her clothes.
Ricky just fell asleep right after.
Yeah.
She got hers. She's done now.
Yep.
He goes, I hid the bodies really well. Nobody's gonna know what we did.
I have no words.
No.
I just eat.
That's great, Carl. You're
quickly.
learning so
Yeah,
much.
Dren's right there with Tristan.
He looks up. Sun should be up, if not coming up now. Are we gonna get on the road?
I gotta prepare spells.
Yeah. So if you rested, of course, you would have if any spell slots you used, it was considered a long rest through the night.
Does that no longer require an hour of prayer in the morning for clerics?
Nope.
You do it during your
Oh.
rest.
Yep. All you gotta do is long rest.
Oh. Okay, cool. So it
Now
resets at
you're
rest.
welcome to take a time to switch
Got it.
out your prepared spells if you'd like.
Well, I'm definitely gonna pack up my portion of the camp, and then like while everyone else is, because I travel light-ish, while everyone else is still doing that, I am gonna spend some time in prayer that morning.
Okay. And you guys see as he he goes away kind of from the group into a more quiet place, maybe even where the creek is kind of bubbling, running down through the rocks under this bridge. And you can hear the town, which is not far, just literally up the embankment and a few hundred feet, is beginning to wake. A rooster crows, and you can also smell coming from the town that of something being cooked. People are beginning to wake for the day.
We should probably get out of here. You know what, with dwarves and whatnot.
What with dwarves and whatnot. So,
Yep.
Yep.
That
I
pretty
agree.
much covers it.
It's really
Ricky's a dwarf racist.
No, because my friendly wolf lady was like, dwarves don't like orcs. So actually, I'm the opposite because I'm helping you.
political
Political correction.
correction for you.
As she's covered in blood, in dried blood. I'm trying to help you.
He goes, Carl goes, well, I can pack the horses. And are we going to go through town? We could use some supplies.
We are not going through town.
Oh. Why?
I just look at myself and at Urol.
Oh, right. It's because you're orcs.
We should have enough to make it to Greyhawk if we push hard.
Oh, okay, that's a long ride. Well, we should go then.
Or were we planning on stopping in Voldrun on the way there?
It would be the most logical, like, populated stop. It doesn't have to be. There are lots of other places along the way.
I think my question is, do we need to stop? Do we have enough supplies to
Oh
get
yeah,
us
you
all the way
guys
to
could make it. If
Greyhawk?
you ride all day, you would make it to Greyhawk by night, probably.
Yeah, I think we were
Oh,
planning
sweet.
to avoid population centres as much as
Yeah.
possible.
We're not people.
Okay, you're not people. You kill people.
So are you going to ride
Yes.
through open plains, or are you guys going to actually take the road up till you get to a town or something, and then?
I think we were going to stick by the river.
Oh, you want to follow the river in?
Yeah, so go
Okay.
down on the road a bit and then veer east.
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. Done. Got it. Okay. So you guys are going to go down towards Keaton and follow it around, like all the way around.
Oh no, not that river.
You want to go
I
this
think-
way.
The
To the
one that
east,
the
yeah.
words
Yeah.
Principality of Ulick are blocking. Yep.
I think
that
we were
one.
planning
Got
to like follow the road and then go down the river.
And go down the
that
river?
way.
Okay. Yep. Got you. All right. Cool. Oh yeah, I can ping this too, can't I? Yeah. Okay. So for those of you that are from this area, which our halfling definitely would be. This is kind of literally your town, or your land. This area in here is kind of marshy. It's just like it's got a lake and a larger body of water. And you know that it's usually heavily populated by mountain gnomes because there are these like hills and mountains all up in these areas in here. Yeah, and then other than that, the rest of it's pretty much plains the whole way as you guys follow the river down. But it's a little off the beaten path, which means that it is probably very dangerous in terms of the critters that could potentially lay eyes on you.
Oh no.
I know.
I hate fighting.
I hate those critters. All right,
Oh.
you guys set out. Is there anything you'd like to do before you hit the road?
Not on my part. I just prep everything, put the hood up, and just kind of follow on in silence. And I'm still gripping those insignias, and every once in a while, I'll like rub my fingers against it, look at it, and then kind of just seem a little deep thought, and then just kind of repeat that pattern over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm oh, go ahead.
Nope, after you.
Okay.
Oh.
I quiet in this morning. He's clearly deep in thought. And waiting. I think he's waiting on everyone else. Like, he was good to go, and it's just like, okay, let's just keep moving. Kind of eyeing that town watchfully, but not saying much until we get on the road.
Okay.
Dren is like writing about what happened the night before, and he's like flicking back through, reading things in his journal and stuff, and studiously not speaking to Urol. Very quiet, obviously big mood.
Your silence is deafening. Ricky just like washes her clothes.
Thank God.
You wash your clothes out. Our lovely, your lovely little helper will help you, in fact, in any way you can. I'm sure he continues, just Carl just gets in the way.
I have so many thoughts about that scenario now.
Yeah, we're like, washing clothes. He's like, oh, I can help you. You know, if you put a little lemon on it right here, it'll really get the stain out.
She's basically naked. She's just like in her underwear.
Yeah,
like,
he
what
doesn't
are you
even notice.
doing?
He goes straight for the work,
I
and then
know.
he goes, oh!
Oh
Oh!
my God.
Oh!
Carl.
Oh! Oh! And he's just very flustered. He's like blushing.
Okay,
Do
Carl.
you even care?
No, I just keep washing my clothes.
You continue
I
washing.
mean,
he
I make
helps, but
unflinching eye contact.
he's like the whole time. He literally puts visors up. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so
You're, like,
sorry." He apologizes.
Aggressively naked.
Yep.
Amazing.
As you finish washing up your clothes, you get as much blood as possible out of it. In the small, like, running creek now that's coming through. Carl packs everything up. Let me change over the map here, because I do actually have a map of the town of Ulick, and you guys will be passing. You can decide kind of which side of it you want to pass on. Let's flip over. Oh.
Hello.
Oh. Yes, I have things. So it is a town, so there are things, right? You would be coming in, the path, kind of where you guys were staying, would lead you in this direction. If you were to take the path direct in, which is not very far. You can technically go around the town and out the opposite side, no problem. Just kind of depends on which side you want to be headed.
There's a racetrack.
Don't be tempted.
I want to go toward the side with the racetrack.
You want to go around this way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see what's up.
I don't have
I want
any.
to go in the direction that means we're less likely to be spotted.
This is the town.
Yeah,
where
the
there's
racetrack.
dwarves, right?
I'm sorry, say that again one more time, Paul.
This is the town where the dwarves are, right?
Most of this is populated by dwarves. Most of
Yeah,
this
okay.
area. The town that your final destination, Greyhawk, is the only one that's a little more diverse. Most of these
Okay.
will be principally dwarven, and some of the
Okay.
smaller ones in the hills will have gnomes and halflings.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys choose to go around. So whoever wants to lead the party needs to roll a survival. That's just to make sure that they don't lead you down the wrong path. And then I'm also going to, if you guys are trying to sneak around the town without being noticed, you are going to need to roll stealth checks.
Oh God. Who's leading?
I could try.
Go for it, yeah.
Oh,
Give it a whirl.
Yeah.
Huh. I
Okay.
really like that
I-
racetrack.
I was about to say, at an 11, yeah, you're just really drawn to it. Our stealths are kind of okay.
Oh, let me do a stealth.
I'm going to go ahead and have Tristan also roll a stealth.
Oh,
You guys clomp around. It's more of a tourist attraction. Oh, no.
we can't hear you.
Oh, I think you might be muted. Did you mute yourself?
You're still muted, Scott.
Scott, I think you're muted.
What the heck? Can you
That
hear me
one
now?
is-
Yeah,
Yeah, there
yeah.
you go. Yeah, yeah.
got you.
What the heck was that?
I don't know,
kept
you
hitting the
said-
button and it wouldn't. All right,
Oh.
sorry about that. Anyways, technically, I think I have disadvantage on this, but it doesn't matter either way. I got a 2.
No, yeah, a 2
Um,
across the board.
Yeah, my
Wow.
armor does give me disadvantage just for future reference on stealth.
So
checks.
we'll,
Oh, does it?
so we'll
Okay.
take the second two then.
So we'll take
Yeah,
the
we'll
second
take the second
two.
two. The latter of the twos.
You've rolled. Oh, well, that's impressive. You guys didn't roll so high. The good news is the halfling does stay relatively quiet, even in her excitement for being here. And as you guys pass around, it's hard not to notice you. You're not sure if it's just because you chose to not take the path through town, which may have actually been less suspicious than trying to go around it. So you're not really 100% sure, but you know you're there. People do see you. The market is beginning to bustle, which you can see is kind of the center of town. Now, the racetrack, as you pass around it, it's just what it sounds like. There's a dirt path, and there seem to be like stands and things on the interior of it. And whatever this set of buildings are, which you can just barely see the way you guys are passing around, seem to be related to it. Probably a housing facility of some kind.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
What do they race? Is it horses?
Why don't you roll an investigation or an insight? I'd take either. Okay.
I don't know, but I want to know.
Yeah, you have no clue. It doesn't. They don't look to be active. It's probably too early in the morning. But there are people moving in and out of this triple set of buildings down here that seem to be bustling as if they may be getting ready for something.
Cool. Okay, guys, why don't you just like keep walking out here and I would be like right back. I'll be like so fast.
That seems like a very poor idea.
Agreed.
Well, if I go to the racetrack, maybe I'll make some money and it'll be a very rich idea. Tristan.
That takes time we don't have.
Okay, well, I just want to go. God, you are so curmudgeonly.
Curmudgeon, you are aware of the gravity of the situation, and I to the two orcs with hoods pulled up on horses. Like, we're almost 50 feet from torches and pitchforks here.
Right, that's why I said that you guys go ahead, and I'll circle back because I'm faster than all of you.
You're faster than a horse.
I'm as fast as a horse.
Yeah, pretty quick.
Right. Come along, Carl.
But I should go with her.
Goodbye, Carl.
Oh,
This
okay.
is the last we'll ever
No,
see of each other,
maybe-
probably.
Maybe Carl should go.
Oh,
with Ricky.
and the horse kind of like stamps forward behind Dristan as he follows. Ricky, I would say to 17, you're moving pretty stealthily. Nobody's really noticed you. Where are you headed?
I just like want to go okay, listen. I just want to like go right here, like sneak up this way once we're on the other side.
Okay.
And I want to see what that temple is to, which is what she's actually interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe see if she can see anything in those 3 buildings near the racetrack, but that's secondary.
Okay. You go ahead and yeah, why don't you just roll a general perception? I'll let you know what is your just passive perception.
17.
Oh wow. Okay, no, never mind. Don't even bother. So as you walk up, you see a few things. The temple is already somebody's inside, like chanting and music is happening and things of that nature. It looks to be some kind of temple for a deity. There is a symbol on the outside. Why don't you roll a religion to see if you can identify? Oh.
Ooh, 20, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. I'm sorry. I'm pulling things up. You guys are able to see all my notes. Ha 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 ha. Okay, dirty 20. Yeah, at a dirty 20, you definitely know that this is a general deity temple. It's meant for travelers. So it doesn't worship one specific deity in particular. It's meant to be a open facility for those in need of worship.
Perfect. I hop in.
There is an elderly gentleman that seems to be sweeping the floors out the front, getting ready for the day.
Sup, you guys got like an offering place or something?
Oh, he says, a visitor. It's very early for a visitor to the church.
I just needed to pray. You know how it is.
Oh, yes, I do. I pray all day, every day.
I bet you do, sir. I bet you do. Me too, man. Me too, man.
And he goes, well, please come in and make yourself comfortable. Here is the home of the gods.
Yep, one of one of many of their homes. They have they've really cornered the real estate market. If you have like a little offering place, I was just gonna do that and be on my way.
Oh, yes, of course. You can always pay patronage to the gods. And he goes around to the side and he pulls out a box that has a slat in the top. And we accept donations here.
That's so great. Ooh. Okay, sure. What does this go to? I guess I should ask that. Like, what do the donations go to? Like, I don't think the gods come down here and like pocket it.
Oh, no. Of course. A pity for the gods. No,
Oh my God.
no, he says, oh, it helps keep the temple clean and fresh so that as travelers come through and as they gamble, they can, in fact, pray away their sins.
Yep, that's how sins work. If you do something bad, you pray and they go away.
That is correct.
Yep. Okay. I take like a handful of coins, like
Okay.
just coins that I have, and I like put them in.
Oh, thank you very
Yeah.
much. Is there a specific god that we should be thanking for your kindness?
I don't know if you know her, Gidnup, goddess of peace and tranquility.
Oh, no. In fact, I've never, well, that is very quaint. Most people here come through, pray to a few different gods, but one in particular, the god of liberty.
I like that. See, and she like turns to her bicep where there's the sparrow tattoo that's kind of faded. See, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. That sounds like a cool god. Liberty. I like that.
Yes, Thrytherion, in fact, is the most well known in this area, but everybody wants liberty, but really they're only here for the gambling.
The gambling. There's gambling.
Well, of course, the racetrack opens. And he kind of looks out and, oh, the sun's not up. Well, I'd say in a few hours. The only thing keeping this town afloat.
What do they race? Just so I know. I'm not gonna go do anything. Just so I know.
Dogs.
Oh, they race dogs?
Well, wolves, really, but,
What? Ooh! No! No, I have to go liberate them. Sorry. I got her.
child.
She doesn't say that out loud.
I was about to say, do you show any?
No.
Okay.
Steely glare. She just kind of makes a fist.
He goes,
Cool.
He says, well, now, please, for your kindness, and he shakes the box, and clearly your donation is the only thing that's in it. It's empty. Other than that, it rings kind of hollow, and he says, make yourself comfortable, child, and please hang around. You can spend more of that gold over at the track.
Where do they get wolves? Are they like in the forest? Kindly old man?
He kind of stops sweeping and he goes, oh, well, yes, the hunters, they bring them to and fro. They replace them when another one goes.
That's so great. That's so cool. I love racing wolves. That are definitely wolves. I should be going. I prayed so hard. I'm acting weird because the spirit moves within me. I'm gonna go.
Oh yes, please. Well, don't go too far. We could use more really nice people like you.
Yep, I'm so nice. I'm gonna hightail it out of there and go catch up.
He says, well, peace be with you. As he continues
Yeah. I slap my tattoo and I keep moving.
Are you going to the track or back to the group?
I'm gonna go find the group. I'm going to talk to them.
As you kind of exit out the front of the temple, the market is definitely beginning to pick up. Bodies are beginning to, more and more people. Bodies are filling the area. Some people seem to be going to and fro, just trying to get to their jobs or whatever it is that they do. But a few other people seem to be coming out of maybe the inn or tavern and are headed towards the track. They are preparing for the day's race.
Motherfuckers.
And your group is standing there. Now, before she arrives, what do the three of you do while she skedaddles to go talk to the old man?
I guess we're just making our way down to the south road.
You guys are just gonna wait on the road for her?
I guess so. South,
Yeah.
like slightly out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
You guys just finished kind of coming around and hit the main path here.
sure. Is there like some trees or something we can get around outside of the town?
For sure. Yeah, it doesn't really show it, but most of this is kind of in a clearing, and there's definitely some brush and trees, and you guys even find like a large oak tree that's creating some shade just on the outskirts of the city, kind of on really right on the path. So you guys are able to kind of hang out. Nobody really notices you at all. The activity seems to be happening in the center of town and near the racetrack.
Cool. I guess we just wait for her then.
Correct. You guys see her come trotting out. They're waiting under a tree on the outskirts of town.
You guys. Hey, what's up, Carl? Don't say anything. You guys.
Okay.
You get that out of your system. Can we go now?
Oh my god, you're so fun.
Yeah, we sat here in silence the whole time. Nobody really said anything. It was pretty amazing.
That's how all traveling parties should be, Carl.
Oh.
The dwarves. Okay, so remember, did I tell you guys about the wolf elf lady? Oh, I didn't tell you she was an elf last time. Sorry, she's an elf. She was pretty cool.
Oh, we can tell them now?
Yeah, we're telling them. So she became a wolf, right? And at the racetrack, the dwarves, they race wolves, and she talked about how the dwarves hunt them. Although she wasn't in a trap by the dwarves, there's a lot of stuff going on. But I think the wolves that they race are probably actually elves, and that's so fucked up. And she's like pacing back and forth on her little feet.
I turned my horse towards the road. Not our problem.
Agreed.
Wait, but those are like people.
Do any
Thank
of us
you,
look
Carl.
like elves?
Why don't, as she says this, and she's talking about like a woman who was a wolf and then an elf, why don't you all just roll a nature? I'd also take an arcana, potentially. All right. Well, at the 14 nature, I would say that Ural, you have heard, but in like fairy tale type things, about something that's not a werewolf. It is a race of elves that doesn't have a hybrid form. They are either elf or they are either 100% wolf. They are known as, and I'm going to so botch this, but I'm going to say it the way I'm going to say it. Lithari, Lithari, is I think how it's said. And I'll drop it in chat for you guys so you can see the spelling. I love it. But that's what you know kind of about them. In terms of the Arcana side of things, you two have also heard of them, but yours is less about the changing in nature, which a druid might know more about. Yours is coming from the knowledge of the fact that a lot of other magical creatures, such as werewolves and things like that, specifically hunt these because they are considered... they're basically a disgrace. They're not elven. They're not really a lycanthrope. They're somewhere in between. And because they don't have a hybrid form, they see them as just tainted. And they have... Nobody's really ever seen a whole lot of them. They're not something that people are like, oh yeah, let me put a trophy on the wall. So that's kind of what you know, at least getting from the magic side of things, is that they are a little different than a lycanthrope, and the lycanthropes really dislike them a lot. Yeah, that's about it. The other rolls were a little too low to pick up on too much else. But let me pick up chat here. You guys can.
We are already caught up in a struggle. Do we really need to get involved in elves and lycanthropes? This is not our problem.
Right, yeah, like I don't care. Like I don't have feelings
You seem
in general. No, just excess morning energy.
maybe take Carl for a run.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Maybe
but
that.
I'm really a bad runner. I look kind of funny.
Carl,
My
you do
mom
not
said-
have a say in this matter.
Oh,
You know, I feel like we are running low on supplies, and I just, Dristan, you're so good with people. You should probably go pick up some more for a good price.
What are you proposing?
She's
Chapter-
proposing we entertain her foolishness.
Do you have any proof that these wolves are what you saw in the forest?
No, but we could just find out.
So you want us to risk 2 orcs' position to go on a hunch of you seeing a half-elf wolf that none of us has seen?
Carl saw it.
I saw it.
Carl, your opinion is invalid.
Oh, okay.
On a hunch that they might be hunting them and bringing them into this track for sport.
Yeah, basically. I mean, how would you feel?
Same he does most days, I imagine. That's
No,
what
I
our
think
people do.
I think he would probably feel worse if he was kidnapped and forced to race for dwarves entertainment. I think he'd feel worse.
Triggered something
Yep.
in your all, like a bit of a twitch, but he's kind of like trying his best to hold back, and he just kind of like takes a deep sigh, grips the handles of the horse really tight to the point where he's almost white knuckling, and just says, "I'm gonna leave this to you. You guys decide, and I will follow."
Actually, because you're struggling so much to hold it in, the rest of you can roll an insight to see if you can tell that it upsets him what you said.
Sure.
Ricky, I'd say you probably pick up on it, but are you trying to hide it? Paul is
Yes.
okay. Why don't you roll me a deception? Let's see if it's higher than a 15. If not, then Ricky, you notice it. Oh, it is. Okay. No, there's a moment of stutter or hesitation, but he hides it pretty well. Something's up, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And the town begins, like I said, is a bustle. You guys can hear it out of, kind of the peripheral, if you would, of your.
So I just want to be really clear that we want to ignore enslavement. Potential enslavement. Alleged enslavement.
Is there any way you can find out to make this more valid within a very short amount of time?
I do everything
That will
very
not
shortly.
risk.
Must we stop and solve the petty quarrel of every town we come across?
I'm sorry. I'm still confused about how enslavement is a petty quarrel.
We
We
don't
don't know.
heroes.
We don't
They
know if
race
there is.
wolves. Get over it.
You guys are kind of standing there on the side of the road, and you hear the wooden wheels of a cart coming up the lane, headed in right past you. In fact, they're gonna walk right past you into the town this direction.
Is it Moonshine Bill?
Whatever you guys do, the decision need to be made quickly.
It is not Moonshine Bill. It seems to be another almost like a caravan. It's a single cart, but it's full of a lot of people.
As soon as Dren notices it, he's going to go and like put himself behind his horse and start just digging through saddlebags, so he's not quite as obvious.
Roll us. Actually, you're not trying to like necessarily hide yourself. You're just trying to hide
No,
your
no,
face.
just,
Yeah, you're able to do that. No problem. Just kind of head down. And the gentleman, like, driving the cart, he nods as he passes by. Kind of looks at
Tristan gives a slight wave.
There's a gentleman, actually, kind of gruff gentleman, a dwarf, on the back of the cart. His little sausage legs, dangle, and he says, "You lot's coming to bet on the wolves."
Yeah.
Not today, I'm afraid.
I love the wolves.
Poor Tristan. He just wants to get this shit done.
So does.
It's so funny. And he goes, "Well, I hopes to see you." He goes, "I hopes to see you there. Shadow runs never lost the match."
Oh, Dado, you say?
And he waves, as he because the cart literally passes you as he's like talking and waving and like he's excited to be there. And it looks like probably this is a caravan coming from one town to deliver these people. You guys watch as it pulls in and stops about here on the map, and drops everybody off.
Cool. Okay, I'll just be right back. And I'm gonna run up and look for like a friendly lady.
A friendly lady?
Yeah, I'll just look real sweet. Like a child.
Guess we'll just wait here.
Okay.
No, you...
Carl goes, "Oh wait, I can come with you."
Yes.
Yep,
Carl,
come on,
sure.
Carl.
Oh, I get to go. And he falls off his horse trying to get, and he's like, oh. He's so excited, and he comes with you, and he's like, "Oh, okay. What should we do?"
Don't say anything but golly gee and willikers.
Oh, golly gee willikers.
Yep.
You
Okay,
forgot Batman.
And Jinkies.
Yeah.
Oh, jinkies and zoinks. I find the friendliest looking person.
There is a woman actually at the center. You kind of see people are meandering about. There's a woman at the well in the middle of town.
I always love talking to women at wells.
It seems to be a reoccurring thing happening in this campaign. But she does seem to be young, maybe not even a mother yet. Kind of ripe and prime in her age. And she is kind of pulling the bucket out of the well. She's almost kind of completed her task.
Like lean on the well, like this probably, because it's tall.
Oh.
Hey. Hi. What's up?
Hi. Carl's like, it's a pretty, like,
Golly G and Willikers.
Golly G Willikers, she's pretty.
Oh my god.
And
I mean, sorry, he's so forward. I mean, I concur, but that's neither here nor there.
She says,
Don't
"Well,
like.
thank you." And she tries to look him in the eyes, and he's like, boys, like avoid your eye contact. And she's like, "Is there something that I can help the two of you with?"
Yeah. I was just like passing through town, right? And I heard about these like wolf races, and I was like, that's crazy that people race wolves. That's like crazy.
It's really
Are they,
not
like...
that crazy. They just race them, and we make money off them. It's how the town survives.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love surviving.
Have you ever seen a race?
No, I was just wondering though, like, what's so special about these wolves? They're just like normal wolves. Like that seems like whatever.
I mean, if you're asking if there's something weird about them, they are four-legged furry creatures.
Are they? Yeah. That's really cool. I just heard that the wolf races here were like super special, and I was wondering if there was like a reason, like what's about these wolves.
Super special. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, if you would like to speak with the hunter who catches the wolves for racing, that's his office right there, and she points across the way to actually this building right here. This kind of square one out front of the racetrack. It seems to be maybe a ticket booth of some kind. And there is a kind of toothless human sitting behind it.
Before I make my adieux to this pretty lady, can I tell if this siren is lying?
Sure. Why don't you roll an insight?
Natural 20.
She doesn't seem to be lying.
Okay.
From her best knowledge, these
Yeah.
are just wolves.
Cool.
Just
Cool.
save that roll.
I know. Maybe I'll roll it again.
And like I
waste of a nat 20.
right, and like I said, she hey, not a waste. And she's definitely assured of the fact that that's the man that hunts the wolves.
Cool. That is so. Gosh, you guys are so welcoming here. I already
Hi.
like this town.
Well, we like you.
Oh, that's so. I'm not gonna get distracted. That's so great. Like maybe I'll see you at the races.
Oh yes, of course.
Cool. Finger gun away. Come on, Carl.
Oh, but bye, pretty lady. She like waves tenderly. Are you headed to the booth?
Yes, I'm on a mission. I'm trying to be quick, like my man Dristan always encourages.
Well, the two of you don't really draw any attention. You're just a human boy and a halfling, which is pretty normal. It's kind of an eclectic group that's shown up for the race, and they're beginning to let people in to the arena. And he's standing there. It seems to be the bookie and the ticket sales guy. And he's kind of standing behind it. He's missing quite a few teeth. He's got like maybe 5 or 6 of them. Like, yeah. And he's a kind of skeezy human, a lazy eye. And he peers at you with the one. And he walks up and he says, "You ready to place your bets?"
Yeah, totally. I love gambling. That's not a lie. I do love gambling.
Well, which dog you gonna bet on today?
Well, I think this is like my first time. It's like my first time. I'm so like, so what, like, would you say, like, could you tell me a little more about these wolves? Because, like, I heard you race wolves and I was like, that's weird. Like, are they just like, they're just like wolves that you like see around?
Roll a persuasion, because you hit that question really hard.
What are you talking about? I definitely didn't.
You hit that question real hard.
Okay. Oh boy.
Think of the wolves.
I am. I was thinking of them real hard. That's not one, but I get to re-roll because I am a halfling.
You do get to re-roll it because you're a halfling. Okay.
8.
His lazy eye gets lazier, and he looks at you and he says, "I don't know that I rightly know what you're talking about, lassie. My wolves are 100% wild. I catch them myself right out of these woods over here."
They're just like you just like catch wolves.
Yes, I'm a hunter.
Right.
And then I bring them here and I train them to be smarter so that they can race right here on my track.
Right. So they're not like already like really smart or anything. You train them.
They're just wolves.
No, he's a fucking liar. Inciting him because he said bald-faced lie to me.
You can totally incite
Well,
that. It's very clear he's keeping something, if not lying to you. It doesn't take a really smart person. Carl goes, "Well, I guess that's all we need to know. Thank you, sir. We're gonna go get back on the road now. See, I told you they were just wolves."
Carl, I'm going. Carl.
Oh, yeah?
Carl. Shut up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would love to place a bet, but I'd like to know, I think, like, because I have like a lot of gold, so I'd just like to know a little bit more about each and every wolf you have. Why don't you take me on a tour?
I'm sorry.
Like,
He says, "Pause. Did you say you have a lot of gold?"
yeah, I do.
Well, you're in luck today, lassie, because we are in fact looking for an investor. Is that something
What?
you would be interested in? Investing in my racetrack?
Yeah, I'd be totally interested. I just like want to know more about like what you do.
Well, there's like a back room behind him, and he opens the door and he says, "Get out here, man, the dinner!" And he like closes the door behind him. And out pops somebody probably not any older than Carl. It's another boy.
Gotta adopt him.
Gotta be his boy probably. And Carl, Carl and the boy kind of make eye contact, and the boy kind of picks up taking bets and those kind of things, and this kind of cranky gentleman with the lazy eye says, "Well, now follow me."
Great.
Yeah, and
I
he says,
definitely want to follow the sketchy guy.
he says, "Let me give you a grand tour of my track."
That's awesome, Carl.
Yeah?
Why don't you go tell my servants that I'll be right back.
But you don't have any servants. That's my job.
This kid, man.
I swear to God, if we die, it's gonna be because of Carl. No one else.
Never saving his life again.
Go tell my bros, Carl. My bros.
Oh. Okay.
Golly gee.
Golly gee willikers, I'm on my way.
Chinky zoinks.
And he's like, okay, yeah. And he patters off back the direction that you came, and heads back to the group. You guys see the pitter-patter of Carl running full speed down the road towards you.
That can't be good.
And he's like waving.
No.
Every cloud is a silver lining.
Does anybody have a bow and arrow?
They're gonna shut this stream down for child cruelty. So, I'm sorry. And so Carl's like, she's taking a grand tour of the racetrack. She's gonna be a big investor.
Carl.
Huh?
What?
Shut up.
What term of quick does she not understand?
This is asinine.
Well,
This is pointless.
but if it's really not regular wolves and it's the elf
Carl.
wolves, yeah.
Carl.
What?
Shut up.
Okay.
I get off the horse and I
Oh,
walk
boy.
up to, put a hand on Carl's shoulder and say, Carl, I
Yeah.
need you to listen.
Okay.
Who gives a damn?
Oh, such dirty language, sir.
You know what we're trying to do, right?
I'm supposed to take this letter, well, the letter you lot took from me, to give to the person
I have the letter.
in
And
Greyhawk.
You know why we're trying to do it, Carl?
Because war?
Right. Because at the previous battle, Turash Mach went missing.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, does this help us?
No.
Oh God.
Is that the right answer?
Carl, where is Ricky?
Like I said, she's getting the grand tour of the racetrack.
Did she say how long she would be?
She said quick tour, and then she said come run back here and tell you.
Carl.
Uh-huh.
Carl. Go get Ricky.
I think, Tristan, it might be best if you go.
My patience wears thin with this nonsense.
Yeah.
And I hop back on the horse and ride into town.
Nice. People part for you as you like gallop in, I'm sure at full speed, and you kind of pull to, and you catch Ricky. And this kind of sketchy, gangly human, older human, walk into the side, actually, of the, let's see if I can't show you, the kind of side, not even of the temple. Oh, Lord, you come in and kind of actually park right up front. You can see the line kind of building there. He actually takes Ricky in this side entrance here, into this 3 set of buildings, which seem to be attached to the racetrack. And the door kind of slams behind them as you ride up quickly with your horse.
I go to that door and throw it open.
Oh.
Oh, Tristan is all out of fucks.
So it goes slamming open. The gentleman that she's with goes, "My Lord!" As you kind of, it bangs open. Sir, I hate to say this, but this is a private tour.
Holding out my holy symbol, I cast silence on the man.
He's like,
So everything within 20 feet is silenced. and I'm just gonna motion to Ricky to follow me.
It goes dead quiet in there. The barking of the dogs and like the sound of the howling of wolves in cages goes silent.
I will. Yeah, just 1 second. It's just my bro. What you doing, buddy?
I pull you out of the 20-foot silence bubble.
You can try.
Well, we can't talk in it.
Oh.
We're silenced.
Okay, then do it so I can. Yeah, come on.
I've just kind of like motion you. Come out, talk to me.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to shut that guy up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will go outside of the bubble.
Still start. He hasn't figured it out. He's still trying to yell.
What is this nonsense? Why are we wasting time here?
I think I was pretty clear.
All right, let me rephrase my question. Why are you putting these asinine little sidetracks in our way? We have a job.
Uh-huh.
You care about a couple of wolves who may or may not be elves. You know what I care about? The fact that some orc tribes might start warring against one another, tear up the countryside, and I won't have a home to return to. Oh!
Okay, wow. So it sounds like we care about two different things.
I'm going back to our friends.
That's a strong word. You should do that.
I'm guessing you didn't. He can still hear you, right?
No, he's deafened while he's in there.
Oh, he's deafened too. Oh, okay.
Nice.
I was about to freak out. I was like, you
Thank
just
God.
dropped the bomb on that man.
No, he's deafened while he's in there, so he can't hear what we're saying.
Yep.
And I turn to leave, pause, and say, "You're welcome to come, and we need you. But I have no interest in whatever this is."
As you turn, the door on your right inside this facility pops open, and a dwarf leads in about 6 or 7 wolves. Most of them look emaciated and injured. Some of them are injured. Their paws have been wrapped, and they have large chains around their necks as they like literally walk right in front of the path and to another door out towards the trap.
I leave.
He exits. As the door slams, the lazy-eyed gentleman is the silence bubble goes down, and he's going, "Ah! Oh! Ah!"
You okay? You're freaking out.
What do you mean? I was screaming at the top of my lungs, and nobody was listening to me.
Are you? How old are you?
How old are you? Don't just ask your elders that.
Well, you're obviously older than me.
And he goes, well, there goes the wolves. Too late now. They're on there. I was going to give you a tour, but now they're on the way out to the track. Too late.
Yep.
He goes, I'll still let you take a peek at them if you want. You know, if you were going to maybe buy one or something.
Yeah.
So he leads you down into basically what is the interior of kind of the track, out to the kind of the dog entrance and the caretaker entrance to the track. And you can see that they're lining the wolves up.
Mm-hmm.
They look broken. It doesn't take a lot to see that they look broken. Why don't you roll an insight? We'll take an insight here. Because you have a pretty high just natural perception. Yeah. Between your insight and your passive perception, you make eye contact with these wolves. Those are not the eyes of animals.
Cool. How many people are around us?
The track is beginning to fill up. Like, people are actually coming in. I'd say people are piling in across the track and into the center. 50, 60 people, 70, you know, people are actively taking their seats. Probably sits 100 people or so.
Where are the wolves being held?
they're kind of being lined up on the line, the racing line. I think I can't show that one to you as well. So the racing line is back here. So they're moving them down the track to this point. You guys have entered about here.
Mm-hmm. And the racing track, is it lower? Is it just like?
Yeah, so that whatever all of the seats on the interior of the track are up. You're actually standing on dirt. So everything's at like ground level. There's a fence around the exterior of it. It's a pretty simple racetrack, nothing special.
I'm so excited.
I mean, is there? Yeah, They just look like they've been broken mentally.
Yeah, I mean it's that look of I don't know if you've ever been on this side of Ulick, probably not. But if you've ever been to an actual slave trade,
Right.
you can only rightfully, if you've seen it, you know the look of something that's been broken by chains.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do.
Do you say anything to him? He has offered to take you over to them really quickly if you would like to see any of them or purchase one.
Yeah, I'll walk with them. She's just being really quiet.
Yeah, he walks you over and shows them off, and he says, "Now this," and he puts his hand on the back of a large black wolf. It has like white tips on its tail and its paws, and he puts his hand on it and says, "Now this is my prized wolf. It's never lost, never lost."
That would probably make betting really uninteresting.
He goes, "Not really, because if it loses, well then, the pot. Everybody bets on old Shadow here," and he pats him on the back.
I kind of lean down, which I don't really have to because I am a halfling.
Yeah, you walk up to.
Yeah. I just try to like whisper Alara to it. I try to whisper that name to it.
You whisper in its ear. The creature like bats its head when you do and looks right at you. It is not the same wolf that you saw the other night, but the wolf,
No, yeah.
but this wolf acknowledges that name.
Okay.
And he says, "Well, you see another one you like? This one's not for sale, unfortunately. They make great pets."
Uh-huh. No.
While you're standing here and you rolled a high enough insight, the collars around their necks interest you.
Oh, that is what I was looking for. Okay.
There's something about the collar around their neck that they're very thick and tight to the neck of the creature. You can roll a well, you had a high enough insight. If you wanted to roll an Arcana, you could learn more about them. But there's something about them that seem off. They're not just a regular dog collar.
Mm-mm.
They're definitely magical. That's it.
Yeah. What are those?
Oh, well, these are my branded collars. You know, when you're trying to sell something, really gotta brand it to your own brand. Well, that's just about enough here of that.
Smooth.
I really got to get back. The race is gonna start here any second, Lassie. Why don't you take a seat and just watch the action?
Do they have keyholes on them? Okay.
They look as if they have been almost welded to the creature. Like the seam is welded so that they are permanently attached.
Yeah, you know what? I would love to buy one.
Oh, well, this race is going to start any second. Is there one in particular you see one you like?
I point at one.
Yeah, you point at like just a basic like gray and brown wolf. It's one of the smaller ones. Ah, female. Good eye, good eye. Okay. Well, that one is about 200 gold pieces.
Great.
Well, all right. Okay. Well, let's get this race going, and then afterwards I'll meet you, and I'll. Okay then. Well, why don't you get a seat in the box? You can have a. He's like so surprised somebody wants to buy these wolves. Clearly he's made this pitch a lot of times. He's like, you can have a seat in the box if you like. And he points kind of to an area that's up higher than everything else, right smack dab in the middle of the racetrack.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there soon. I'll catch the next one.
Oh, all righty then. Well, I'm gonna just mark it down. Now you got to come by before sundown if you're gonna pick up your wolf. Payment up front.
Yep.
No returns.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, I got to run, and he kind of pitters off back towards the main buildings, where clearly he's got last minute preparations to make before the race begins.
Yeah, I stalk back to the group.
You guys see a stomping and weighted halfling as she comes clomping back to the group. Grumpy.
Well,
Yeah, they're like Ari.
me.
And
do we know? I can't remember. Do we get? Yeah, we know. Okay.
You do.
I
You
told
know.
you.
Yeah. You know. She knows. The other two were very unsure, and you guys didn't necessarily share that information. So it might be new for the other two people in the group.
So, you're sure?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
then-
asking for your help, Ural, because fuck you, Tristan, and your fucking family.
That's not very nice.
Shut up, Carl.
Okay.
What are you gonna do? March in there with an orc and liberate a bunch of wolves?
Listen,
It seems
I'm-
that your priorities are skewed.
Wait.
So
Am I made to understand those are people?
Yep, Carl.
Shut
They
up,
are.
Carl.
Both of those things. Yes, they are also shut up.
listen.
Um,
We are set on a goal, and I understand that. However, for our goal, and I'm pretty sure I'm the last to say this, to be achieved, we have to trust each other. Now, Carl, I swear, if I hear a sound out of you, I'm going to throw you into the wolves. Now, you have my help. I will help you. However, I have to agree with Dristan and Dren. We're very short on time, and we can't quite just walk into there as orcs.
Right. I got him to agree to sell me one of the wolves, so we're getting back privately after the race around sunset.
and about that time you hear somebody lets off a sound of something exploding, and people start cheering.
So,
a day?
Ural,
We will lose a day of time.
Ural, let me just check this with you. You speak of trust after what you did last night, and you suddenly have a problem with slavery that will endanger our entire mission when you know full well that half of Turashmak's army was enslaved and you fought with them.
I understand the severity of our position, and I understand, perhaps, my actions last night do not best reflect my character. However, we still have principle to live by.
We have a mission.
We do. But let me ask you this, Dren. Would you feel the same if it was your family in that kennel?
I have no family.
Regardless, Dren, What has Turashmak always taught us? What was the whole point of us moving forward? You've recorded his entire life. You've watched him. You've listened to his speeches, and you stand there. I understand my mistakes, but you dare stand there and judge me on my trust and the importance of this mission.
I will judge you because you endanger this mission.
Everything about what we do is dangerous.
So why add more?
Because it's the fucking right thing to do.
I don't even look at Ricky, I'm just staring at you all.
I'm gonna look over at Carl. What?
Oh,
What?
It's gonna be really hard to just like let the wolves out. They're wearing binding collars.
Right. So we're gonna have him take the collar off our wolf, see how he does it, and then either repeat it or make him do it for us.
Oh.
Perhaps I can try to persuade you two in a different manner. If we help this wolf and say it is an elf, they may have a way for us to travel better than when we are set now. So perhaps this could be a strategic way for us to maneuver without being seen in the woods.
And
With
if you
their help.
fail,
Fair point. However,
Ooh.
Celine and the elves already withdrew from this conflict. They
We
offered
don't-
us no aid at Celine Pass.
We
They
don't
won't do it
need-
here.
We don't
And
need
if we
to-
fail, we will be chased across the countryside by slavers.
Hmm.
If you show your face in that town, we will be chased across the countryside by dwarves with pitchforks.
Is there any way to do this quietly and unseen? I'm looking at Ricky now.
That's like usually my plan. Tristan can make people be quiet. I mean, either with magic or his presence.
Damn.
Damn. So much. So it's about this time. You guys are still kind of in this open area under this tree and these bushes. And off about 50 or 60 feet, you hear the.
Oh.
And you turn, and it is an elf that you know.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
What?
So,
She says, "You travel with
Who
me."
that is?
yeah, and they're literally like so great sometimes. I guess.
I find it interesting that you stumbled upon me last night, and now here you are again today.
Is this
Yeah,
the
this
wolf?
is Alara. She's cool.
I think you're muted.
We've gone maybe 100 feet.
She looks over at the human.
100 yards across.
Yeah.
We've made no progress today.
She says, "You've come to this town. You
This
would
town was on the road.
Yeah.
see. Is there a reason you haven't moved on?"
Yes.
I raise my hand. I raise it loud and proud.
Yes.
Well, this can settle this. Elf person.
Alara.
Those wolves. Yes. Those wolves in there, are they your kin?
They are.
No.
Nailed it. We were planning on freeing them. And when I say we, I mean mostly me. Mostly me.
Almost
Harumph.
exclusively you.
She
I'm
walks.
I'm just being supportive.
I was about to say she walks over almost a little too close to Ricky. So yeah, she's very tall and lean. And she squats to join you to make eye contact. And she says, "Little one, you are so brave. I knew it last night when you freed me."
Yeah.
She's like, "But if you go in now and you try to free my people, they will kill all of them."
Yeah, that's why we were gonna wait until we were, I made a whole like 50% of a plan where I said I was gonna buy one, right? But like obviously I'm not. And then have like a private meeting with the creepy no tooth guy. See how he. Do you know how he takes those collars off? That would be dope if you knew how to do that.
I know how he puts them on.
Oh yeah.
The only time they ever come off is when one of my kinsmen passes.
Ugh.
So someone has to die.
Or other things.
You know what? If you know they're in there, why don't you go round up a band of your friends and rescue them? Why resort to 4 travelers on the road?
She turns her head and she says, "It's funny. We in fact already had a plan to try to release my kinsman."
Good, then we're not needed.
No.
Do you need help with your plan?
She smiles and looks at you and she says, "Your heart is bigger than you are, halfling."
No, it's not. I don't feel feelings.
Her sense of foolishness, maybe.
It is a sorcerer who puts on those collars. They are imbued with some kind of magical energy that forces my kinsmen to stay in wolf form, not allowing them back into who they truly are. The townspeople here are unaware of what it is that he does and how he does it. Annually, he closes the track for a couple days for maintenance and to train new wolves. He's been hunting them. This is why you saw me last night. Return here in 7 days' time. At midnight, when the moon is in the sky, my people will meet here under this tree, and we will raid the closed track. But if we try to do it today, it will mean the end of us and the end of my people.
Cool. I'm gonna just put that in the calendar.
Let me just pencil that in.
Yeah.
And she looks back over to Ricky and she says, "You make me smile. And it has been a long time since anyone has been able to do that. She says, don't let this cruel world kill your spirit."
Yeah, I think I have the only spirit amongst these guys.
And Carl goes, "Oh, what about me?"
I
You
just
got
backhand
some-
him.
Yeah, cold. And she turns over and kind of eyes the 2 orcs and she says, "I don't know what it is that 2 orcs are doing traveling with a human, a halfling.
That's none of your concern.
It's okay. I don't need to know." She says, "But I do hope that you recognize your place in all of this." And she turns and looks at the human and she says, your heart is shadowed and dark. You wear your own burdens and put them on everyone else."
Who is this elf?
Cool.
Yeah, Carl goes, "She's hot.
Carl!
I'm sorry."
Be chill, man.
He sits up. You've knocked away his front tooth out.
Good.
He's now got a snaggle tooth where you punched him. And she says, I'm simply who I am."
Flowery prose may make you sound wise, but it doesn't make it so. You know nothing of me or us. Claim I weigh others down with my burdens if you wish. I know what I'm here to do.
No. Is that so? What
That's
is it
what I
you
just
are
said,
here
yes.
to do?
That is none of your concern.
Unlike you, who seems to spill forth their entire life story, I have no intention of doing so.
I don't need your life story.
Then don't ask for it again.
I didn't.
You presumed? Never mind. You're going to talk circles.
She goes, "No,
I don't know.
you have simply been rude since both myself has appeared, as well as her kindness."
You stood down the path listening to our conversation.
You're
when
right,
you
I
speak of
did.
being rude.
She says, "I watched you as you all slept last night."
That's weird.
Okay, yeah, and we're rude? What the hell?
I don't know. But guys, the next person who's rude, I'm tearing up that letter. So.
Oh. And she says, "Letter? To who?"
This
Dren's just
halfling will
gonna
be the
walk
death
away.
of all of us.
All right,
Yep.
hold on. Everyone,
And I won't even
let's-
feel bad about it
let's-
from the way you're all
let's-
acting.
Let's all just relax, okay? Clearly, there has been some feet that have been stepped on. So, let's all take a breath and let's figure this out so no letters are being ripped.
We have been taking a breath all day. It is time we moved on.
Says I think that is a good idea. You only draw attention
Nobody
here.
asked you.
If you would like to help me, you're welcome to return. If not, we are going to free my people anyways. I wish you a fair journey, wherever it is that you are headed. And I hope your
See?
letter makes it to whoever it is that needs it.
See, her people will be freed, so it's gonna be okay. No need. Put down the letter. Everything's gonna be fine.
Put down the letter.
Step away from the letter.
Everything is gonna be fine. Now, the only question I have for you, Miss Elf, if we were to help, what is in it for us? We need to get to somewhere, and we need some sort of information and protection. Can you provide that?
She wants us to come back in a week. We'll be there in a week.
I can
Well,
offer
not
you
if we do it
nothing.
now.
She's like, I offer you nothing. You
All right, then I say we move on. Then.
You
I
wanted
just,
to
like,
help.
leave it,
I
let her
told you
finish.
that you could.
I'll see you in 7 days, Alara.
She says, I'll see you then. And kind of bids you adieu. I'm guessing you guys take to horse.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Bob's, along behind you guys. Oh my god, you knocked my tooth out!
Can any of you fix that? Or...
Oh.
I can, but I will not.
He smiles and like sands the front. He's like,
The boy needs
does
to
it look-
learn
does it
to keep
look
his
bad?
mouth shut.
I don't think it's helped with the lesson.
Carl, you're gonna want to just put pressure on that and just keep your mouth shut
Oh,
just for a little bit.
okay.
You're gonna lose your whole mouth if you keep talking. Just,
Yeah, and he just is like,
keep your mouth shut.
yeah, he kind of keeps it covered in fear of what you say is in actuality truth. And you guys ride on through the afternoon. It's still only about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. You guys made the first race of the day. That was kind of why you're standing by. So you still have plenty of daylight to continue your journey. Who's leading the group? I need a survival from them to head back on the path and get back that direction.
I'll take it this time.
Okay, cool. Go for it.
Oh my god.
Where
What is
is-
happening?
Sorry, I
Oh,
pulled
you're
up
good.
in another window. There we go.
Wow, a 21. Yeah.
Nice.
You may have even been this direction before. And you guys do kind of come out. We'll kind of track your actual journey here. You guys come out of the backside of Eubanks and follow the path down. It doesn't take you very long. And then quickly cut to the water's edge. Dristan leads you beautifully along pretty clear plains. And you guys travel for quite a while with no interruption, I guess you could say. Is there anything that you guys would like to do on the road, or would you like to just travel?
There's a conversation I want to have with Ural, but I don't know that either A, now is not necessarily the right time, or B, in the interest of like moving on, I can do it later.
I mean, if you want to do it now, now's a great. Actually, let's do this. You guys head off down the road. It's 8:30. Let's take a 10-minute break. This seems like a good breaking point, and we'll come back with on the road chit chat, and those kind of things, and then we'll finish up the journey to Greyhawk at the latter half. So we're gonna take a 10. Everybody probably needs a little sass break. Let's get like a little sass break, and we will move right along with the story when we return. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be back. All right, and welcome back. If you are just joining us, welcome to the Greyhawk channel. I am Little Red Dot, the DM for the current campaign that we are playing through, which is the Birthright of the Pomarj, which is an orc-based campaign set right here in Greyhawk. Now, right before break, we had an interesting series of events. We might have made it like half a mile, maybe a mile from where this started. But that's okay, because I am a firm believer that character development is always way more important than trying to get from point A to point B. And we learned quite a few interesting things about our characters. But they have finally come to the same agreement to hit the road and continue their trek. They have passed the small town of Eubanks, which we have learned is a gambling town. They race wolves. Wolves. And after some interesting kind of conflict with the group, they are moving right on down the road. Their plan is to head southeast, bypassing the main road and taking the river all the way through the Principality of Ulick, which is going to lead them right up next to both the hills and the mountains, and hopefully to arrive in their destination by day's end, which is Greyhawk, the principal city of, or the capital city of the Principality of Ulick. So, you guys begin to set off down the road. You've been traveling now for about 30-45 minutes or so, probably in silence. Carl tries to hum a tune every once in a while.
I am also humming.
He's humming with him. Yeah, and he's...
Does it like whistle through his teeth?
Yeah, yeah. He tries to learn to whistle and he can't quite get it. He strains.
Oh my god, Carl.
But he's trying
Carl.
really, really hard.
Yeah, he's very trying.
All right.
Yeah, and let's say
Yeah.
actually the three horses. So pull kind of forward, leaving Dristan and not Ulick, that's the place that we're in. But what's your character's name? Ural. Thank you. Staring at the word Ulick. Ural, kind of your horses slow down and you guys take the back of the line.
Yeah, I make the effort to like slow down the horse because I do want to speak to him. And as we're plodding along, probably like midday, so we're not like, oh, don't push the horses too hard or whatever. It's one of those like, we're perfectly framing a scene right now. Scenes. I pull out my pipe and light it and begin to puff. And so, Ural.
I kind of
Why'd you-
noticed him. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I noticed you like slowing down a little bit, and knowing our past, I kind of tense up and like kind of slowly go for my mace just in case, because thinking that you're gonna hit me or something.
Do you want him to see you reaching for the mace?
No, I'm not. I was just
kind of
I'm not-
on
yeah,
the side, like you ride. Okay.
Why'd you do it last night? Why'd you fight them? They were walking away.
I guess that is the question.
Yes, it's the one I just asked.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. And I rummage through my bag and I pull something out. Do you know what this is? I show him the insignia from the back of the Knolls.
What does it look like again?
It looks like it's just a logo, almost like you'd find on a general logo on a flag. It's been hand sewn on via felt. It has the Knoll like racial logo, if you would, kind of at the top small, and then this like crest type thing, which he'll know to be a hunter's guild, but each section represents the things that they hunt, kind of a thing, very similar to normal crest, but this one in particular is for hunters. So you can roll an insight to see if you know it's for a hunter's guild.
No. Tristan doesn't know. There's no way he would.
Yeah, cool.
He says, no, I don't, and I'm not entirely certain I care.
I guess that's fair. He looks at the patch. I anticipated someone to come up and ask, and the truth is, my motives were true to me. Whether you, Dren, or Ricky approve or not, I don't care. Your approval is not something I seek. Now, I understand what I did was risky. And in that sense, in the sense of a team, I understand their mistakes. But why I did it, why those gnolls had to be stopped. This is an insignia of a hunter's guild. I'm sure you're familiar with hunting. However, they don't just hunt animals. People who, or things rather, that carry this sign of pride, this sign of glory, murder, and butcher innocent beings for the sole purpose of butchering and murdering innocent beings. Tarash has taught me, in order for us to live in a world of peace, this cannot exist.
And did not Dren send them along the road to... Let me finish. Did not Dren send them along the road back towards your encampment?
Regardless of where they're sent, they were presented in front of me. They were there for a purpose.
We traveled that road. There's nothing. No one, except for the old drunk man in the moonshine cart. For miles. For hours between us and your encampment. Maybe they would have found it. Maybe they would have linked up with them or been killed by them. Another drop in a leaky bucket. That
Why
might have been the
leave-
best we could hope for.
Why leave it to chance, though? What if along the way we wouldn't know to meet the old man on the wagon, right? We won't know if they were to meet, let's say, a passing family or an innocent, or even that old man that just wants to travel. You can't leave things to chance when you know the results.
Suppose they did. Suppose they did meet someone on the way and killed them. And it troubles me to think of it. It gnaws at my stomach, and I prayed at it this morning. But we're trying to stop the wholesale slaughter of both our people. And actions have consequences.
You're right.
What if they'd killed you and Dren, and it was just me and Ricky forced to carry this out on alone? No other humans, no other halflings, or otherwise, will take up this charge. And even if the two of us find Turash, that meeting only ends in blood. Maybe you didn't make the wrong choice. I'm just not convinced it was the right one.
I can understand your perspective, and I respect your insight to the larger picture. However, your imagery, your picture might not be the same that I live by or look at.
And that's why I asked you, why did you do it?
And it's simple. It is through principle, what I have been taught. I understand we were set on a mission and there isn't a larger goal in which I accept responsibility. My actions were impulsive and most definitely dangerous. If you're concerned that this is going to be a reoccurring issue, I can assure you it will not be. However, you need to understand that your perspectives will not always align with mine, and I will do what is necessary to my beliefs.
You're making no sense. I ask you to explain it. You simply say you live by a code. You have principles. You don't offer what they are. You tell me it won't happen again, and then you say you're going to live by them.
Roll an insight.
I want to know.
I was about to say, if you roll an insight, yeah, you may pick up on. I may be able to give you some information.
I'm just trying to get him to open up.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying. Let's see if you can tell if he's telling like completely the truth or if that he is hiding something. Out of 10, your gut instinct tells you is correct that he is hiding something that you can't quite tell what it is. Paul,
Yeah.
is he trying to keep it quiet? His connection with the hunters.
Kind of out of shame.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to give I'm trying to give an answer where it will satisfy but not get too in depth to the point where he reads me as a book of why I'm ashamed of the Hunters Guild.
Basically, you can realize this is a little bit more personal than just like I believe this kind of thing. This is personal. You can feel it all over him.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. and a good color. Good to know. Sorry.
Yeah, so I was trying to
Um,
give you more, but you just didn't roll high enough. I was hoping to like
No, that's
help you out,
that's
but it didn't roll
fine.
high enough. So
What I want to understand is when you do choose to act the way you did last night, I want to know why. I want to be able to see it coming. I don't fault you for your beliefs. We each have our own. I'm
So
not-
if I explain to you what drove me, honestly, rather than just saying that as beliefs, you'll leave it.
I'm not here to evangelize. You've got your beliefs. I'm not trying to change them. And I'm not looking for some tapestry of meaning here. I just want to know if we meet gnolls, if we meet orcs, if we meet anything like that again, and Dren talks them down, are you going to wait till they turn their backs and drive a blade into it? Because if that's the case, I want to make sure my shield is ready.
Sorry, hold on. Well, I can assure you, the next time a move is made like this, you will be aware. And the reason why, the true core reason why of what I did was this. And I kind of pull and rip off the necklace that I wear around. Obviously, clearly, this necklace has no meaning to you. However, this insignia that I carry is not of a god that I worship. It's actually the insignia of my home and family clan. They were known as the Kul Tarar, and I was a part of a hunting guild as well. That is what drives me. When I see others who walk the same path that I have, it is my duty to relinquish and stop that path in this place. I have seen where those paths lead. I have seen the paths that they have built. And I will not allow any more of those paths to be built.
Fair enough. I'm not asking you to stop that.
And I will reassure you. There will be no more impulse actions. There will be no more blindsided attacks. We are a team, and I will start treating us as a team.
It's good to hear.
I tied the necklace back.
You guys definitely. Is there anything else you'd like to say to each other, or do you guys continue to ride with the group?
I think that's where I have like there's something like a half-formed idea in my head of like something meaningful to say to him. Something along the lines of like
Do it.
No pressure.
yeah, I think like I don't think any of us are happy about being in this situation, but trusting each other and teamwork is the only way we're going to get through it.
I agree.
Good.
And I like look at him, and then I look over at Ricky. Just keep that in mind for the future.
Yeah. You see,
But that was meant to be like a kind I support what you were saying back then, but you know, we got each other's back, bro.
Yeah. You guys have your like bro moment. You look over and Ricky's riding, Carl's riding alongside her, bugging the shit out of her. No doubt. Just like, you know, the whole time, just like,
No,
I've never been this far from home.
I give Carl like a compress, like I pour water on a rag and have him.
I've never been this far from home before.
As we ride closer to the group, I just want to lean over real quick to Tristan and just be like, that child's going to die.
None of us will if I can help it.
Okay, that's good to know. And I just kind of walk forward and just ride forward.
But the only other thing she's doing this whole time, she hasn't answered Carl once, is she's staring at the back of Tristan's head.
It's burrowing holes
Silently.
through it, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah. She's not trying to. It's an old habit that's like making her see red, and
Right.
she's just trying to grip the reins and be quiet.
So yeah, go ahead.
Would I actually be able to um, notice anything about the group's demeanor in the sense, particularly Ricky, of like her
So
death
you guys
glare?
have, if she's glaring into the back of his head, you guys have kind of ridden ahead of the group, and since it makes sense, since Drista was actually our navigator, that you guys would ride ahead. As you turn around and kind of peek, you get that. You know that movie, that cutscene moment in a movie, a horror movie, when it's like, and it like zooms in on the eyes. It's like that.
It's like a western. It's like the good, the bad, and the ugly.
You know,
Except it's just forward.
you turn around, and I'm sure she's making just, I'll eat your soul eyes. And you pick up on them, and you can definitely tell that there's something amiss. That's just very blatant and obvious. Carl's still like, oh my gosh, can you see that?
I like mumble to myself, "Oh, one down, two more to go, I guess." And then I just kind of just keep silent for the rest of the
Yeah.
ride.
You guys kind of ride along through most of the day. It is hot. The kind of misty wet you left behind in the town of Eubank. As you continue along, and about late afternoon, early evening, you guys stop just outside a lake area to rest for a little bit. Your horses need it to refuel. There's still enough daylight. If you're gonna make it to Greyhawk, you will have to ride through the evening. But you will make it, before too late, basically.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are at an interesting point here in terms of which direction you'd like to go. You guys can kind of take a peek. So basically, you can go around the river. We'll do path number 1 in this like yellow color. So you guys can basically go around the river down this way and hit this bridge and this bridge into town. Your other option is to cross the river here and follow next to the hills and already be on that side of town.
I mean, I think that second option is the better one.
Yeah.
Bridges mean people. People mean eyes. Eyes mean someone might see our orcs.
Yep.
Exactly.
So you guys are thinking the option of taking the inner path that leads you next to like the hills is going to be the better one.
Yeah.
All right, so it means that you will have to cross this piece of the river here that has no bridge. So that will be a little bit of a tricky cross, but you guys are welcome to make it. It will, like you said, mean that you'll come across less people. Ricky, you also know, if you zoom out, I'll kind of, let's see, is this, yeah. If you zoom out all the way, you can kind of take a peek at it. So when we kind of got your origins into this story and we talked about you riding through some of the villages that were in the wake of Tarash, they would be along, they would be along this path. Because remember, he avoided the swamp, so he cut through the hills and rode back upwards, basically. And so if you rode inland, you would probably see a lot of the wake of that. The good news is you'll be bypassing a lot of that because you guys are going to take the innermost route, but it will mean that you travel alongside the hills. Is there anything you'd like to do when we stop to just kind of refuel? Nobody took any damage, so I don't have to worry about that.
No, I help Carl as best I can.
Yeah. The tooth has stopped bleeding. It's jagged, what's left of it. It's like just like the top third from where his fist just like knocked it out of his face. And he's like, does it look cool? How's it look?
She has this kind of sad expression on her face.
That's why you look so sad.
You just remind me of someone.
Oh. Well, that's a good thing, right?
Sure, if you like the person you're being reminded of.
You don't like me?
That's not what I said, Carl.
He's so like wide-eyed. His
Yeah.
tongue kind of presses through the empty tooth space too, like it naturally pressed through the empty tooth hole. And so he looks really derpy.
Don't let anybody hit you.
Oh, I didn't even see that one coming.
Right. I know, that's keep your eyes open, please. I don't have 4 eyes. Well, I do when I have my goggles on. But otherwise, I do not.
Okay. You know, nobody's ever really looked out for me before.
No, stop. Please, no. Shut up.
It means, like, a lot.
No, please. No. You gotta learn to take care of yourself.
He runs and gives you a hug.
No! I dodge it.
He's gonna try to throw his arms around you. He's not very dexterous, but we can make a dex roll if you want against one another.
Dodging.
Yeah, you could ask.
Save versus hug.
Yeah, he's not very. He rolled a 4, so he basically attempted to fall into your arms, and you let the truss fall through.
Yeah.
Is basically what I picture, and he's like,
Yes.
and he falls in, poof, dirt everywhere. He gets up, he says, I meant to do that.
Oh my god.
And kind of dust himself off. As you guys have a cute little moment, he says, no more punching, Carl.
Yes. No more punching, Carl.
And he re-waters the horses. He fills everybody's canteens. He does the squirely things that he is wont to do as he bustles about. You guys wait about 30 minutes or so. Horses get some rest, and you guys can hit the road again. Yeah. When you guys stop by the water's edge, what are you guys doing it stealthily? Are you just hanging out on the riverbanks? What is your intent?
Is there anyone around?
What?
We know that in the hills there have been gnolls. I think.
This is true, and you guys are, let's see if I can't, you guys are actually right in, well, I kind of showed it to you, you're right there. I'm going to ping that. Let me delete that line, because that's not where you're going. So you guys have kind of stopped on this water's edge here. The best place to cross, to actually get across on the river, would probably be actually right here. So you guys aren't far from it, because that's where the river and the road actually overlap. So there's going to have to be some kind of embankment or rock formation that gets you across. You can only rightfully assume. So you're not too far from it, but you know that crossing that could be potentially be dangerous, so letting the horses rest was a good idea.
I mean, obviously I assume the bridge further south by Greyhawk is quite a big one, but is there a bridge where the road crosses the river up here?
That's what I'm saying. It's not, I wouldn't call it a bridge. The
More like
road
a
definitely,
ford.
yeah, rocks and those kind of things. So it's still going to be a little dangerous to cross on the horses, but it will be safer, like you said, to cross inland than to try to cross between Voldrun and the river down into Greyhawk. So, any last minute things while we rest? Everybody should have health. I don't think you guys took any damage. Now, you asked, Dren, do you see anything or anybody?
Yeah, like,
Why
is
don't
there
you,
anybody
I was about to say,
around?
we'll say, you've been terribly quiet, so we'll say you've been scouting this whole time. Why don't you roll me a perception?
Cool. What am I rolling? Sorry. You cut out for a second then.
Oh, perception.
Perception.
Yeah, let's
Cool.
you just kind of are, we'll say you're kind of scouting. Oh, yeah, to 21. You don't see anything with the naked eye, but your gut tells you,
Cool.
as somebody that's been on the battlefield for a long, long time, this basin, which is really what you're standing in, dips down. Where you guys are standing is the perfect place for an ambush.
Okay. So, I mean, I'll make them aware of that. And I would assume that Urol would have picked up on that as well, being a soldier.
Yeah. You just kind of notice, like, it's not mountains, so it's more like hills, so people could easily ride over them. There are rocks on the hills, those kind of things that they could be hiding behind. It's just, it's a precariously open place in this basin.
While, like, obviously Ricky's chatting to Carl and he's sorting the horse and stuff, could I kind of make my way up one side of the embankment, kind of stealthily, and just see if I see anything out of the ordinary?
Yeah, like, change your perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ride up. Why don't you do it with stealth? So roll me the stealth,
Yeah,
unless you're wanting to just march up the side of the hill.
I don't think I would take the horse. I think I would go on foot.
Oh, want to
and
go on
try and be
foot?
stealthy.
Okay, yeah, totally.
Try and be stealthy about it, yeah.
Yeah. Whoop.
Oh.
Nope.
Okay.
You get up the mountain.
I said try and be stealthy.
I was about to say, so you kind of see this rock that you're like, oh, that'd be the perfect place to, like, just peek out. So you run up there actually pretty stealthily, and as you round the rock, there's somebody hiding behind it.
Oh.
You almost bump into the gnome that's got his, like, arrow ready. He goes like, oh! And he releases it in the shock of the moment, and it whizzes past you. He is going to attack.
Oh, good.
Because it was an accidental attack, but you startled him. Hang on, let me not pull it up on that one. Let me pull it up on this one.
Is this a gnome?
It is a gnome.
Oh, I thought she said no. I was like,
I was sure she said gnome, and it's adorable.
Yeah, it is a gnome. Why are you being this way, Compendium?
Oh, you know, just cause.
Just because.
because you need me to work, and I know that, so I'm not gonna.
He has kind of gnarly teeth.
Nice.
He seems
Ooh.
like he might be a little feral in some way. But
Ooh.
yeah, he's a smidge feral.
Feral, no.
And actually, yeah, I know when he releases the arrow at you, it doesn't show it, but we're gonna use this one for now. We'll just use a dart. A 19.
Oh, yeah, that's probably
He
gonna
slings
hit.
and smacks
Okay.
you in the cheek with a dart. He just like and he like tosses a dart and it like lands inside of your face. As he does hit you with that poison dart for 6 piercing damage. I need you to
Oh,
also make a
shit.
Constitution saving throw because it's poison.
Yeah.
Little shit.
Well, shit.
What an ale. Who carries around a poison?
What kind of asshole? Ooh, we just made it. Nice.
Oopsie.
So you feel the poison like rush through your face. Your eyes even get that like as your body tries to process whatever it is. But you do keep your bearings as 6 points. And this gnome's like attack. And he kind of goes to reload. We will go into initiative.
Cool. Can I like blow my horn to let the others know
Yeah, sure.
something's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead. We'll say you can take
Blow
kind of
that
that
horn.
free action. Yes, nice.
Very
An
nice.
18 initiative. That's killer. We're gonna say
shit.
all the gnomes are gonna go together at one time because I don't want to roll for all of them individually. So
Smart.
smart. Nice. So who has the higher? It would definitely be Ricky. So it looks like Ricky's gonna go first. All right. Followed by Tristan. The more I say that name, the more I like that name. I just love it.
Good one.
Yeah, it's a good name. It's just a good name. And then it will be Dren, followed by. What did they roll? Oh, they only rolled a 7. Wow, we really screwed the pooch on that. Okay. And then they'll go last. Okay, so what ends up happening is you hear this horn, and you guys are in like a water basin, naturally speaking, over these hills, and you guys watched as he kind of ran up, and something definitely happened. There was a commotion. He's about 50 or 60 feet away. No, that's okay. He's about 50 or 60 feet away as you see this tussle happen, and he like grabs his face where something's poking out of it, and then sounds the horn. And about the time the horn sounds, you see from the rocks all along the hills around you, little people just emerge. There has to be about, oh Lord, there's probably 6 or 7 of them. 2 of them stay up high and find rock faces with bows and with an arrow, like basically a bow, and cock them. The other ones come rushing down with these war picks. These.
I think it's funny.
It's a funny image. These basically these gnomes. Now they are a particularly kind of, I guess, different. Like I said, they look a little different. They're a little gruffer, nastier, rockier, and they their teeth are kind of jagged. They're kind of feral. Is the only way I know to put that.
About how many do we see in total?
About how many do you see in total? So far, not counting the one that he was in combat with, you have seen 6 of them emerge.
Okay, I'm just going to kind of look down at my sparrow tattoo, give a little sigh, and then slap something on my other arm and run to the nearest one and start smacking the shit out of him.
You go for it. He kind of meets you, like I said, he's standing there, and you are able to rush on him pretty quickly. So go for it. Yeah, give me
Cool.
give me that lovely roll.
15?
I believe a hit. No,
Oh,
it's
good.
not.
Okay.
It's not.
Um,
Very close.
okay.
Oh
do it
no, I
again.
lied. His armored class is 15, even with the chain shirt.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Alright.
Yep, you're good.
And I'll try to hit him again.
Yep.
Yep.
Sickle, sickle.
So that's a total of 18.
18 on
With
one
the
of
sickle?
on one of them.
Yep.
How do you slay this poor gnome?
Oh my god.
She's so nasty. I love her.
Jesus.
So the first one doesn't go in too deep. It's more like a slash across like the front of him, but it's not too deep. And as he like looks down at it, she jabs the sickle up under his chin. And then yeah, bye.
Yeah.
And then I will. How close was he to me?
You mean the one you just killed?
Yeah.
I mean, you probably have a range of at least 10 feet with that sickle, right? So he was basically running at you. So
Okay,
he was
cool.
within 5 to 10 feet, and as he goes down, his body rolls down the rest of the hill.
Yeah. Where's the next one?
So directly in front of you, about 20 feet uphill, there's a gnome that is loading his short bow. And
Yeah.
to your right, another one's coming down the hill with his war pick.
Yeah, I'll go to the closest, the one running at me, and I like back
Yeah.
at him, and I have the sickle, but I'm gonna feint and do 2 unarmed strikes. Like I look like I'm gonna hit him with the sickle, and as he goes for it, I'm gonna try to punch
He
him.
goes to like block it with his war pick, and as he does, he opens his entire body up to 2 punches to the gut,
Hopefully.
like an idiot.
That's a natural 1, but I'm a halfling, so don't hit.
13 doesn't hit.
And
Roll it
shit.
again. And a 13 doesn't hit.
Let me just refresh roll 20.
I was about to say, yeah, just hit a refresh roll. That is some scary shit.
That was scary shit.
No, neither
yeah.
of those hit. He picks up, but like, there's just too much commotion, and he's tiny and weird, and he's like, as they continue to yell. They seem, like I said, kind of rabid, almost.
Yeah.
But that is your turn, and you did take one of them down, like first strike. So, Dristan.
Tristan, I think, kind of looks around, sees what's happening, and yells after Ricky. Why must you always immediately resist violence? Where's Dren?
Dren's up on the mountain going.
I think
He's out of my line of sight, right? Because
No, because you're basically in this like basin, and there are these hills that lead into the water that's at the bottom of this large basin, and that's where you guys are. He's up the hill; you can see him.
oh, I thought he like went behind a rock or something.
He did, but he stepped down in a commotion, and then
Oh, okay,
you watched
so then
him,
he stepped back out.
Yeah.
With a dart in his face.
Cool. I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna run up that hill, like just shield in hand. Just the shield. I don't have my mace on me.
Okay.
Because it would be back with the horse.
Uh-huh.
So, take the shield off my back and just begin running uphill, to get as close to Dren as possible.
I was about to say, you see one coming down the hill towards Dren. It's coming towards his back. And he's not going to see it because he's in a tiff with the gnome that was hiding behind the rock. Yeah, you can clearly see it. You're welcome. You would probably bake it to him if you wanted to try to actually hit combat with it.
I just want to like get there. So can I get on the other side of him and impose myself between him and that other gnome?
Absolutely. Yeah, you kind of get there like shield in place between him and the oncoming like, running gnome.
So I put myself between Dren and that gnome, and then with my other hand do the semantic components to cast Shield of Faith on Dren.
Ooh.
Nice.
So I'll give you +2 AC as long as I concentrate on it.
Nice.
And then I just raise my shield at this war pick that's coming in.
Yeah.
And then yell back down the hill, like, Ural, you good? Or what are we doing here? Do we have a plan? What is going on? Somebody. Ricky's just murdering again.
All you can hear all you hear are the sounds of gnomes like all over the place.
Get the horses.
They're like coming down into this basin. And between the sounds of yelling gnomes, you can hear the violent, murderous shouts.
I knew
of
somehow
Ricky.
I would be at fault here. No. Dren has a dart in his face.
It still hangs from your face, I guess, probably until you pull it
Yeah.
out. Okay.
I love that.
I would say that is definitely that's a nice defensive maneuver there, and you do
Damn it,
make
Ricky.
it. He won't be able to reach. For now, we'll just say your position has made it so that he cannot reach Dren. Yeah, Dren.
He's still totally able to hit me, right?
He's totally able to hit you, just not
Good,
Dren
good,
because you're
cool,
in the way of it. So Dren, it is your turn.
Cool. I'm going to leave the dart sticking out.
Bouncing.
I'll quickly, on my trumpet, quickly blow a little tune of inspiration for Ural.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Inspire me.
I dare ask what that sounds like, but by all means, you toot that sound of inspiration.
That's my murder song.
This is so murderous. Love it.
I love it.
Okay.
And then,
So what does that do? Sorry for me.
Yeah. I was about to say,
so inspiration, you get a, what's my inspiration die? I can't remember.
A D8 probably.
D8, thank you. You get a D8, and because I'm a Valabard, you can use that to add it to an attack roll, saving throw, or damage. Or if something attacks you, you can use your reaction to add it to your AC.
Got you. Okay.
Cool. I'll quickly turn to Dristan and just say, kill them all.
What? Kill them? Why?
You know, wait, you know what we should do? Guys, you know what we should do? We should capture them and make a racetrack and force them to race. That's the humane thing.
I feel like you guys are yelling this across this. It's like echoing throughout this basin as these gnomes are just trying to kill you, and you guys are having a racial debate.
And then I'm going to use my action.
That is our party.
Okay, your actual action.
My action. I've got my vicious mace, and with my extra attack, I'm going to bring it down twice on the little shit that nearly took my eye out.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. You surprised him. It wasn't his fault.
Oh, that first one misses, right?
The first one does miss. What's the second roll?
The second roll is the same.
No. Yeah, 14. I was gonna say 14 does not hit. He dodges.
only wants us to die.
Yeah, it does not like you guys today at all.
Also refreshing roll 20.
It is Ural's turn.
Alright, so a lot just happened.
Uh-huh.
Where am I positioned?
You're
with,
literally
how
in the
far?
center. You could go left about 25 feet and kind of upwards to be where Dren and Dristan are. Off to your right, you can go up that direction and be closer to where Ricky is. It does look like she is by herself on that side, but she seems to be handling it just fine since she just slayed herself a rock gnome that has basically rolled down the hill to your feet.
Where is the horses?
The horses are tied up at a tree about 20 feet behind you.
Ugh, worthless horses. Damn it. Alright. Where's Carl?
Carl is trying to get up the hill to Ricky.
I don't need you, man.
He's
Alright,
pulled
so-
out a sword.
Oh.
Completely ignored what Tristan told him to do.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Carl.
use one of my attacks on Carl.
It's very satisfying, I recommend.
Alright,
I won't punch him.
So I'm gonna be like in the middle of like taking a bite out of my ration just as this is all happening. I'm just like, and I'm gonna hear Tristan yell, and I'm just gonna shout back. I think in this particular situation, violence is approved. And then I'm gonna run towards Ricky, saying, "You guys got that?" Just run towards Ricky.
Okay.
How close can I get to the closest gnome?
Yeah.
There is so what you have on the right are two archers that are up higher, and then there's the one that is coming down the hill, or that Ricky's already been in like combat with. That seems to be carrying an axe. You could make it to the farthest archer on your right.
And how far am I from Tristan and Dren?
You're about 20 to 25 feet on both sides. You're kind of, like I said, kind of in the middle, and you'd have to go uphill both
Oh,
directions.
sorry.
That's okay.
Ignore that. I could do a risky move here. Would I be able to throw my javelin close to Tristan? Not at him, but like
Oh yeah, you just want to like land it next to him.
Yeah, so that he can have something.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
totally. So all you need to do is roll me the dex to throw it to make sure you don't hit him. I'd also take an athletics if you get the proficiency on the strength and stuff.
Oh yeah, athletics.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. You rear back, rations like in your mouth, and you like throw this javelin, and sure enough, it lands right by Dristan. Into the ground. You see the javelin now within arm's reach. And you can quickly add that to your character sheet by searching it in the compendium and just dragging it and dropping it onto your character sheet.
I would not have it anymore, right?
You would not have it anymore. It's now for him if he wants to grab it and use it.
Okay, yeah, well, it's just there. And
I
then
don't know where the compendium
okay.
is. Hi, I'm new to roll.
Oh,
20.
sorry. At the very top, so you have
Is
like
it
a
the eye?
It's the eye, and then you can simply search
Oh
javelin.
my gosh, why did I not know about this?
Yep.
I'm horrible.
And then you can click javelin and drag it over to your character sheet, and it'll auto lock it in.
and then I guess for my movement, I just want to run towards. I still want to just run towards Ricky.
Yeah, so
your
your
do
action
anything
is
more than that, right?
your action's basically tossing it. You kind of take it all in, and then you can basically make it to Ricky. So you'll be there right next to her for her next turn.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Hello.
And about that time, it becomes the gnome's turn. So we have a few things. We've got two gnomes that are going to aim some arrows. The first arrow is going to go towards Ricky. Oh no, did it not roll? Oh.
Nope.
Oh.
That means it misses.
That means it. Let me
afraid so, Chelsea.
I'm sorry. I'm done. I guess the gnomes are meant to just die. They don't actually get a hit. Let me just refresh my roll 20. I probably too should.
Let's everybody just refresh.
Just everybody refresh roll 20. Everybody just refresh roll 20. It'll be fine. What did I? Yeah. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, well, it didn't quite work, so I'm just going to roll that manually.
Okay.
Why not? Let me just quick make sure I got the right stats on it. All right, so it rolls. The first one's going to shoot at Ricky for excuse me. What is its lovely dex? Oh, that's not very much. This is out of 10 doesn't hit, right?
Nope.
The other one farthest right aims at Ural at a 17 does hit.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, a 17 doesn't hit you?
Nope.
Dang! All
I'm
right.
a bulk.
I was about to say, it like pings off of you, and it's Carl that's like, whoa! You hear him
God, I
behind,
forgot about him.
trying to like get up the hill to the lot of you, and the one that is in combat with Ricky it is going to reach out with the war pick. It finally makes it, and nat 1. It trips along the way, like it swings and trips and falls down and bumps square into Carl. And they go tumbling down the hill, ass over tea kettle, and land at the bottom. So it's now kind of in the center, and you guys have the two archers directly in front of you. Now the other 3 of them, there's an archer that's going to aim for Dren.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't hit.
Nope.
The one rock gnome that was coming down with the war pick does come to hit Dristan with his shield. But I can hit the war pick this way. Click. 22! Does that hit?
Oh, that actually hits. I've got 21.
No. Okay, well, it must have been something about the momentum, and he just comes down and almost like hooks your shield with it, and kind of catches you down the head and face.
Well, how much damage are we talking? Because I reduced damage by 3. I have the heavily armored feet.
Okay, well, let's see here. So 1d4. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 1d8. So not too much. So only 5 points then.
Only 5. That's not bad.
Not bad. And you can see it, like, it literally, he brings the war picks down, it hooks, like, the top of your shield, and just, like, just tiny rake across the head as it kind of rips your forehead open. But it's still going, on the other side of your shield, in a frenzied panic. The other 2, there's one got off on him. The next 2 are archers, so they load one off on Dren at a 14. Probably doesn't hit, right?
Doesn't hit.
Jesus. And a 13 doesn't hit. So, the gnomes suck. And we move right back around in combat order to Ricky.
Seeing the one that went past us, fall in a tangle with Carl, she immediately turns around and runs after them.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, down the mountain. You kind of,
That's fair.
like I said, they're down at the bottom now. I guess Carl didn't really get a turn. Let's see. Carl's gonna try to stand up and shake the gnome that he's kind of entangled with off. So he's just gonna make a basic strength check. At a 14, he manages to shake it off and get standing. But you can see the gnome reaching for the war axe and getting ready to bring it down on his back. He's turned his back on it. Yep. And you run down and make it in time. This guy is prone, so you actually gain advantage.
Yes, that's so hot.
I'm glad that I could.
Get fucked! No.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's low damage, but it's amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll attack him again.
Okay. Yeah.
He's still prone.
He is still prone, so you still get advantage on it.
Oh, damn.
Not enough that time.
No.
Carl almost steps in the way, and you have to like, God, Carl.
Oh my God,
I'm
Carl.
so glad to see you.
I'm gonna use a key point and then do 2 unarmed strikes. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's 19 more points of damage.
How would you like to literally pummel this gnome to a bloody pulp?
Yeah, so the first one, as I see it going for Carl, I stab the sickle in his back as he's on the ground, as he's trying to get up, stab it on his back, he falls back, and then I just elbow him twice in the face, having all his teeth shatter.
And they do. And his teeth go flying. The horror on Carl's face of somebody else losing that many teeth. He like almost grabs his to keep him in his mouth in fear as you ravage this poor gnome, and he dies right there. His body goes like limp.
I
Yeah.
picture Ricky going, "Don't fucking touch Carl."
Yeah. And you just pummel this guy's face in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I run back to Ural.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. And you kind of like bolt back over.
Hello.
Dristan,
Hello.
it's your turn.
Right. Okay. Time to freak out. Okay. All right. I think like as this, I've got this like hook. Can you shield bash in without a feat in 5th edition?
Here's what I usually do. 5th has no rules about using a shield for bashing. Not like any official that I know of, unless somebody can point it out to me. Usually what I do is...
There's a shield bashing feat that allows you to do it as like a bonus action, but it's just to push. I'm not talking pushing.
you
I'm
wanna
talking
do
like, can I
damage.
use it as an improvised weapon?
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to tell you. You can totally use it as an improvised weapon.
Cause I suck at throwing javelins like so hard, dude.
Oh.
You can
I don't know
also
if
stab
you
with it, I think.
You can stab with javelins. Let me
Yeah, I
try
think so.
rolling it and see what it uses. It uses my strength.
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
hit.
because it will use your proficiency. So a 19 does in fact
okay.
hit. You do stab it.
Well, as I've got the pick, I kind of reach behind and grab the javelin, and I say, "Y'all hit them, not me," and stab over the shield. I don't know. That's why you were doing it. I'm just like,
Okay.
shit, dude.
That's true.
So I do that, and then I spend my I keep concentrating on the spell. I don't have to spend actions to do that.
No.
Sorry, y'all. I'm still getting back into 5th
Hey,
edition. It's
man,
been-
you're
If
rolling with it.
if you take damage, you'll have to roll a Constitution save. like
Yeah.
a-
Okay.
a
So they
concentration
still
check.
have that.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yep.
All right. So let me. A 19 hits. You said.
Mm-hmm. And you can just click javelin right there in chat, and it should roll your damage.
Actually, ooh, okay, so that isn't exactly what I wanted to do. I
Oh,
just
okay.
wanted to see if it rolled strength. What
It
I want
did.
to do is that other one is still attacking Dren, correct?
Correct.
All right, I'm going to use goading attack, which is from my fighter,
Okay.
War Battlemaster, to force it to attack me as well, because I don't want people hurting Dren.
Oh.
Let's
Is there
let's
romance
see the
brewing?
rules
I didn't
for
know that.
No, there's a please don't hurt my friends. I'm a shitty cleric. I can't fight things.
Please don't hurt the guy who talks us out of shit.
Exactly.
All
So I
right.
gotta flip through my book. I have one of those
okay.
old 1st edition player's handbooks that just disintegrated.
Oh
so,
yeah.
all
So
my
yeah,
pages
so
are
so your
all
plan
over the
so your
place.
plan is to cast. What are you casting?
I'm using one of my maneuvers from War Master, which is goading attack, and
It's,
goading attack is if I hit with a weapon attack.
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. So I did hit with the attack. I
You
can
did.
expend one of my superiority die to
Uh-huh.
goad it into attacking me. So I'm attacking the one attacking Dren. I add the damage to. I add the die to the damage roll, and they have to make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, they have disadvantage on all attacks that aren't targeting me until the end of my next turn.
Okay. Okay.
And that save is 8 plus my proficiency bonus plus my strength. Proficiency bonus is 3, so that brings us to an 11, and my strength is plus 4. So he has to make a DC 15 Wisdom save, and I'll roll damage and then add a D8 to it.
All right, cool. So let's just see if he makes it. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. That is.
I understood.
Not
none
it.
of
Oops,
that.
how do I
So-
roll damage?
So you would click. See where it says javelin in chat. In the actual chat, you can
Yes.
click that javelin, and it should roll. There you
Ah.
go.
8
So
piercing, and
he
then,
needed to make. I'm sorry. What was his save?
DC 15 Wisdom.
Wisdom. Well, this is going to go poorly, gang. Well, there you go. He is not wise, and he failed that miserably. So add whatever you needed to add to the roll.
Add 5 damage to it.
so 13 total.
13 total, and if he wants to attack anyone other than me until the end of my next turn, he has disadvantage.
Okay. No, he definitely wants to attack you because you hurt him pretty bad. You actually skewer him through almost entirely with this javelin. And he wails out.
So,
Yeah.
after I pull the javelin back out, I start banging it on the shield. Like, come on, come on!
Oh, and
Right
tries
here,
to
right
get
here.
yeah, and
I'm
you.
holding the
I was
shield
about to
up.
say when you do that, you notice the archer turns from Dren to you as he sees you take one of his brethren down, and the one that's fighting Dren also gets really angry. He says as he sees you kill one of his brethren.
This is what I'm here for. Bring it on.
Yep, and it is Ural's turn. Ural.
Okay, so I want to, as I'm like, I hear Dristan yelling at me, and I'm gonna yell back and saying, "That javelin was for you." And then I'm
He's
going
trying to kill you, Tristan. He's trying to kill you.
Shut up, Ricky! I'm gonna swing
Well,
my.
I mean, chances are half of you should be, and we've got Ricky and Ural. That math checks out.
It's gonna be fine.
I'm gonna swing my mace to the closest gnome.
Oh, did I? Oh, I did skip Dren. I'm sorry. We'll go back. We'll do it after this one.
Oh, sorry.
No,
yeah,
you're
fine.
good. You're good. Just call it, and then
I
I'll
still
hop
want
back
to.
over.
I still want to yell at.
Oh, you get the banter. So you want
Yell
to
at me all
make
you
a
want, buddy.
mace attack on the one. So there are 2 archers. So you'll have to cross up to one of them, which you would be able to do on your turn, no problem. And you enter the archer space. Go ahead and make that roll. Or rolls, because I think you get 2 correct.
Oh, here it is. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to.
Hit.
Ooh.
Yeefa. The second one does not hit.
Can I use my inspired thingy on
okay.
on
You
my
can
that
have-
second attack?
You can add that to your attack roll, yeah.
Yeah, 1d4.
D6. I believe it was.
1d6. Oh wow.
Was it
8.
D6 or D8? I should check.
You said you did D8
Oh,
I think I did
d8.
say D8.
Well,
double
hot
check.
damn. We'll roll an extra 1d8 then.
slash.
Oh, what is it?
Yeah.
I can look it up in the compendium. What's this?
Yeah,
called?
it's a D8. It's a D8.
Okay, perfect. There you go. So all you gotta do is roll that.
Duh.
Well, the good news
That makes
is
it.
15 hits.
Okay, cool.
So it was exactly what you needed to make it. So the 15 is good to go.
So then I just click mace twice, right?
Yep. Click mace twice. Yep. How do you kill this one?
I want so my first swing I'm gonna use to kind of sweep under his leg,
Mhm.
and as the gnome kind of like falls, I'm gonna grab his head and completely bash it against my shield and then throw him on the floor.
Well, you do all those things. He becomes kind of limp and gooey as he plops to the ground.
Gooey.
Yeah, he just like you smash his face in with your shield and it becomes like soft, and just like crushes in. As you
Ugh.
drop him, he just like his
Nice one. Nice
Yep.
one, Uro. Nice one.
Yep, his body too rolls down the hill. There's 1 archer left, and then there are 3 left on the opposite side.
Okay.
Is that your turn in total?
I don't think I can do anything.
No, because you took movement and both
else.
your actions. So let's skip back because I
Yeah.
made the mistake. Let's hit Dren. Dren, you watch all of this
Cool.
happening around you.
So what's around me now? Tristan's at my back.
Correct. He just skewered one of them, and you heard him pretty much almost kill it. The one that
Yeah.
you're fighting, you notice too that he begins to turn his attention from you to Tristan.
Cool. And Tristan's banging his javelin against his shield,
He
isn't he?
is. He
Yep.
is.
Cool.
He-
Just making
So-
noise, trying to be a
Oh.
big target.
I don't know
Someone
why
was
that's
asking in
good.
chat like what the characters look like and stuff. So they know, Dren's mace is actually the head of the mace is a drum. So I'm gonna use my bonus action to inspire Tristan, and I'll just kind of start banging on the drum matching his beat with his javelin for a second,
Mhm.
Oh, that's
And then
cool.
and then I'm
Quick
gonna
jam
bring that.
band session.
Love
Yeah,
that.
and then I'm gonna bring that mace down twice on the little shit that put the dart in my face. First one hits.
First
second
one
misses.
hits though. Don't you get a +2 though? Didn't he give you a +2 to something? Or that was your AC?
That was my AC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first one, 8 points of bludgeoning damage
Ooh, fine.
as I bring that down.
Yeah, he you watch his face, his nose cracks and blood kind of goes splattering. And he now blood's all in his like little teeth. He leaps for you again. Anything else you can do in your turn?
I'll hiss at the gnome. Other than that, I'm good.
I was about to say, it goes, yeah! Back at you in this like just ridiculous, like angry. And this deep gnome will in fact reach out and attack with its war pick on Dren. A 21.
That'll hit.
Hi, yeah. For 7 piercing as it comes back in retaliation, you've really pissed it off. The one archer that is left did decide to focus its energies on Tristan.
Oh, didn't that one have to attack at disadvantage if it wasn't attacking Dristan?
Did it apply to only the one you were fighting, Tristan?
The one that I was trying to goad was the initial one who stabbed
Correct.
Dren.
So
So
he's yeah,
that one.
that one's only
That
one.
one has yeah. He was
Okay.
the only one. I only could do it to one at a time.
Okay.
I got 4 dice. I can do it the next 3 turns.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so the
Cool.
good news is the archer anyway still kind of turns his focus to you, and he still will shoot a arrow at you, and crit fails. He breaks his bow.
okay.
You
I was
feel
like,
him
I
like
heard crit.
I was about to say he pulls back to go release it, and you watch as his bow and he's like, and he snaps it in two. He immediately reaches for the war axe on his back and will have to run into battle now. The other one you were fighting that is almost dead also reaches out with his war pick at a 14. Does that hit you, Tristan?
Sorry, 14. No,
Oh,
no. It
okay.
went for 21.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you have
I'm-
the shield. That's right.
Yeah, apologize. I keep Dren and Dristan. The beginning sounds so similar, and I keep screwing it up in my head. Yes,
Yeah,
no,
I think that's
we're
why I messed you guys up in order too. So, anyways, no, so it does not hit. He tries to bring it down, and it pings right off of the shield that you have, kind of bash it away. As we flip to the opposite side of the battlefield, there's only one gnome left, standing over there with Ural, and he knocks a bow and also takes a shot at you.
Damn.
At a 20.
Ooh, yeah, that would hurt.
Okay. 1d8.
Was it inspired thing a one-time usage?
You can use it. Oh yeah, it was one-time usage.
Okay, yeah, that's a
He's
hit.
got it now as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. He gets +2 to that. You take 7 points of damage as an arrow and sticks kind of in a soft spot where your armor doesn't hold. Moving right along. So that was all 4 of them. It is back up to Ricky.
I charge the archer.
Okay. It will take you your full movement action probably to get to him though. He's pretty far away.
Cool. Perfect.
That
Should 17.
17 does hit.
And then 26. So
Just killing gnomes.
just die real quick.
That's literally exactly the HP points he has. How do you kill this gnome?
I think it was a word picture. Come on.
I feel like she just has a little bit of like a
Oh, I got
box
this
with,
one.
like,
I got this
cards.
one. So I take the sickle and I do one edge of it into one ear, pull it out, and go into the other.
Yeah, and his face, like, you put basically a hole in the side of his head each time as
Yeah.
it rips free, and he just, like,
Ew.
and hits the ground right in front of you. His body down to the bottom of the hill.
Cool.
Dristan, what would you like to do? You still have one in front of you who is heavily injured with a giant hole through his body, and then you have the archer that has been shooting at you. How would you like to proceed, Dristan? Oh, you're muted.
Muted.
It appears at this point we're definitely committing to the violence here, and
Yep.
I'm cool with that.
Yep.
At this point. So
Too late now.
I'm not that badly damaged. I think Dren's fine. Ricky seems to be handling herself wonderfully, as always. We haven't really been hurt overall, have we? Like,
No,
like
not
a
really.
I've
little bit
taken
here and
a
there.
couple of hits, but
Yeah,
I'm
an
okay.
arrow here, an arrow there. They really were
Yeah,
underprepared to
fine.
take a lot of you down.
Got it. So I've got this. I still have the dude with the pick on my shield, correct? So he's gonna get a javelin in him.
Ooh, give him
Yeah.
another javelin. Because he's already taken a big old hole through the gut, the last one. Yeah.
Ooh.
Why don't you just skewer him into a shish kebab? A gnome shish kebab. How do you kill him?
I think it's nothing fancy. It's literally just stab, pull, see him go down, turn to the next one, and raise the shield.
Yeah,
It's
yep.
almost methodical in a way. Like we see Ricky fight, and it's this very finesse, almost like cinematic-y combat. And like things are over the top and real. Like I think watching Ricky fight is like watching an Ip Man film or a martial arts movie. It's like this crazy shit happening. But like you see Dristan fight, and it's seriously just it's more like something out of Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
and just a stab, you were faceless, move on.
Yep.
And it's very, as opposed to being very flourishy, it's very learned. It's very soldier-like
Mhm.
in that sense. It's nothing ridiculous. It's just stab, he goes down, move to the next one, and raise the shield. Keep myself protected.
Yeah, and you do.
F him up.
Yeah, and it doesn't take a whole lot. You score him the last time, he goes down very, very quickly. There is still the archer that is now coming down the hill, or is planning to do so, and the one that is in combat with Dren. And Dren, it is your turn.
Okay.
Oh,
Actually,
no, you
I'm
got an
gonna
extra
use
turn.
my I'm gonna use my bonus action from fighter to take a second attack.
Heck yeah, go for it.
And attack that one
Mhm.
that's right there.
Yeah.
And do I have any battle master maneuvers I want to use?
I don't know, do you?
I don't think so. No, not time for that yet. Let's just javelin him again. 13. So nope, don't hit. That's fine. Move on.
That one doesn't hit. Yep. And it yeah, he's kind of like in his last ditch effort to try to kill Dren. Dren, how do you proceed?
Cool. So, I'm really quite pissed that I can't kill this guy. I'm really not happy about this. So, since I have a level in Barbarian, I'm going to use my bonus action to Rage. Dren is really not happy right now, and I'm just going to bring the mace down and beat this guy into a fine paste, hopefully.
Okay, go for it.
So, +2 to my attack rolls. So that's 15 on the first
that
one,
hits.
and a 12 on the
The
second one.
second one doesn't, but the
Just
first one
makes me
does.
angrier.
Yeah, just you're like,
Um,
just want to kill it. Hey, that was enough. I was gonna say that was enough though. You only needed 8 points. So, how do you kill it? Just smash him in.
Yeah, just hit him really hard until he stops moving.
Yeah. You just pummel him until his body goes limp, and the last two gnomes roll down. Thud thud. You hear their bodies. As I can imagine it cinematically, all four of you like turn and look up the hill at the last remaining gnome. That's like, and it turns to run. Because it is clearly outnumbered. It kind of like takes the situation in. Ural, it's your turn, though you are on the opposite side of the pond, so you're gonna need to cross pretty far.
I'll just use my turn to move closer to the party.
Okay, yeah, you move back down the hill, and kind of in the centralized area, guys, where you started, and you can see the action a little bit better. The gnome does, in fact, go to run, and it starts running up the hill. If you have a long-range weapon, you can take a attack of opportunity, but it's too far for anybody to like
I
reach
can
out.
catch him on my turn.
Okay.
Are we within initiative still? Because I could
Mhm.
dimension door over to him.
You can on your turn, because so the gnome basically takes his full turn to run, and he turns and bolts up the hill and almost crests it. It is Ricky's turn.
I will run my 40 feet, and then I will use a key point to dash as a bonus action, so that's 80 feet. Hello, Mr. Gnome.
It goes as you like run up on it, you know, it's like all terrified and stuff, and
Yeah. And then I'm going to try to knock it out
okay,
with my 2 attacks.
Okay.
Is all my action.
Okay. So you just want to knock it unconscious, or are you trying to kill it?
No, I'm trying to knock it unconscious.
Okay.
I want to
Let's
know
see
what
how
the fuck they're on about.
Let's see how you do.
Yeah. So it'd like be with the butt of my sickle.
Okay.
Natural 1, but I can re-roll. Don't be a 13. That's better. Okay. And it's doing it again.
Wow. Well, at least your rerolls were really great. Okay.
Yeah, yay,
So
halflings.
go ahead and roll the damage. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. This is how I do this.
Uh-huh.
If you do
Yeah.
more damage than he has HP, you have it will kill it. If that is the case, I'm gonna let you make a dex right now to try. It's like a control factor, so I let you make an extra dex roll. This is just kind of a Chelsea rule, which means that basically if you roll over it, you'll only do damage up to 1 HP.
Okay.
Left. So go ahead and roll the dex to go with it before you click your damage. Okay.
17.
That's a good roll. So you have enough control of yourself to make sure that you don't kill this guy. So go ahead and roll the damage.
that was iffy.
Because you would literally have kept 1 HP over if I had not asked you to roll that. So you do, and just in that last moment, you have enough control not to stick it all the way, the sickle all the way into his chest. And you hit him with the end of the sickle, and it like, and you can see it's still breathing, but it is down to 1 HP. It's very injured.
I just start, I'll just start, like, I take some rope out. Just start tying his little hands.
Right. So we are out of combat, and that leaves all of you to kind of, almost in silence as the things begin basically go quiet. The shouting of gnomes is no more. You have 6 gnome bodies and 1 that is still alive. Just for the sake, we're kind of rounding out here, but we'll say as we go around here, you guys kind of tell me how you'd like to close this out. Go ahead and re-describe yourself to the audience too. Just say, at the end of battle, I'm covered in blood and look like, or however you'd like to prompt into that, but let them know kind of what your state is, because some of you are raging right now, some of you are covered in blood, and it would be a great chance to explain your character since that was something that was asked of by the audience. So let's go around. So you are going to bind this gnome.
Yeah, that's my plan. I want to know, just because there have been a lot of things we've seen or intercepted messages of working for things, and she's hyper paranoid, and so that's why she wanted to keep him alive in case he's part of what's going on. Yeah, so Ricky is halfling. She's got a tattoo of a sparrow over here. She probably has more tattoos other place because that's just how she rolls. She's got a dark black kind of shaggy hair and gray eyes. And she just binds this guy, not gently, but very, very practiced, like she's done it many, many times before. Kind of props him up next to a tree and just turns around and looks at the others.
Yeah. You almost drag his tiny body down to the tree where all the horses are tied up, so you guys kind of reconvene, I guess. And the 3 of you each describe yourselves as you watch Ricky drag this poor, barely alive gnome down the hill and up to next to the tree you're standing next to. And why don't we start with we'll start with Ural as you come down to meet Ricky.
So Ural is a kind of like a well-built paladin orc. He's not really old, but he's kind of like aged based off of battle, not based off of like time. And he's just, he's got crumbs all over his armor at the moment, and he's just walking towards Ricky, brushing it all off, and he's just like, oh, what a waste of ration. And then he's like looking for Carl. That's my big concern. I'm trying to figure out where Carl is, make sure he's fine. Like, so I'm like darting my eyes around as I'm walking down.
Carl is already moving bodies.
Good on you, Carl.
Carl's like,
you find any...
he's like pulling gnome bodies and stacking them.
I see that and I'm just like, yeah, that's about right. And then I just keep walking towards Ricky.
Okay, great. And the 2 gentlemen from the other side, say gentlemen, the orc and the human. What does Dren look like in this rage coming down from the mountain or from the hillside?
So Dren kind of stops actually as the rage fades from him, and there's this moment of almost shame that he kind of gave into that side of his nature. He's usually quite a put together guy, and he's quite a clean orc. And looking down now, he realizes that like his armor's got chunks out of it and stuff. Mainly because I just realised that I've got a level in barbarian and I shouldn't be wearing armor. So Dren's just kind of take a moment. He's going to look at these like slashes in his armor, and he's just going to take a minute and take it off and just leave it in the grass and start making his way down. And as he comes down now, you see that his entire torso is covered in very finely tattooed orcish script.
Carl goes, "Oh my goodness! Did you know he's got tattoos?"
Carl, there's so many dead bodies around.
He goes, I'm sorry. And he starts like, he keeps pulling one of the gnomes.
Carl, make sure
bodies.
you rummage through. Make sure you don't miss anything good.
Oh, okay. Let me search. Sorry, I gotta roll for that.
I don't have a good feeling about it. I'm searching my guy too.
Oh, that was a D10. That is not what I wanted.
I will also, before I make my way back down the hill, just kind of clap Dristan on the shoulder.
Carl doesn't find anything. You hit Dristan on the shoulder as you come by, and you're like taking your armor off, and you watch as he strips it and it hits the ground. And what does Dristan look like coming out of combat? I know Dristan may not like killing things.
Yeah. Sorry, my cat is gonna be meowing.
No, you good?
Always meows at the door before she comes in the garage, so be prepared to hear that. There it was. So Tristan just kind of looking around at all this, like, ugh. And he walks down the hill after Dren, and moves past, like as Ricky's dragging, he just moves past this whole thing and goes over to the horse, takes his shield off, like puts it on it, and just stabs that javelin into the ground next to Ural's horse, and then kind of like walks over to join everybody. And Dristan is this big dude. He's tall and he's bulky and he's strong. Like he's got what I've heard described as like a blue collar body. Like
Yep. I know. Yep.
He's got a really high con and a really high strength, but he's not like Conan. He's like what's a good example? Like he's like a panda or a bear. Like he's pudgy. He's a pudgy dude. He's like 37, so he's up there in years for like a medieval fantasy world.
Right.
And he's got like a big black beard, and his hands are always kind of like covered in soot or whatever. And his clothing is very plain. His armor is very functional. Like he would not. It would not be, if not for his prodigious size, you would confuse him for a background character in like any fantasy movie ever.
He looks like an NPC.
Yeah, he looks like an NPC, exactly. Because that's all he really wants out of life, is to just be an NPC. But he does have that finely polished holy symbol around his neck, which is just a shield. And so he goes back to the group as Ricky is going, dragging this body down, and I begin casting Prayer of Healing, which takes several minutes.
On yourself, yeah.
No, it affects every.
Around.
Which is why it takes
okay,
several
cool.
minutes.
Yeah, okay, cool. So you give this kind of effect. You guys hear him. Well, I say you hear him. You watch him praying and casting. What are you doing with this gnome, Ricky?
As he's tied up, I'm going to search him for, again, this probably a similar like bounty piece of paper that we found on the knolls. I'm going to search him for any markings on anything that he has or on his body.
I don't even need you to roll for that. You quick search his body. He doesn't have much on him. He's just a gnome, a little tiny gnome. He doesn't have any letters or anything like that. He doesn't seem to be, you can rightfully assume that they probably came out of the hills. Gnomes, and this is a deep gnome. This is somebody that is kind of corrupted by the Underdark or living underneath the ground for long periods of time. There's a good probability you simply wandered into their space. Oh, nice. Okay, yep, and 8 HP. You guys feel it coming in. The gnome, though, is also in this area, as this area affects, and it heals, and he kind of comes to, and he's like, as you're.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Does anybody speak gnome?
No.
I do.
I do not.
Carl, you do?
I look over at Carl with like the biggest surprised eyes.
Everybody does like.
Yeah. Dren
Yeah.
does a double take.
Yeah.
Carl is 100% a spy. He's a cop.
I think so too.
I agree.
Carl,
We're gonna die.
I was gonna say Carl comes over and you hear him start speaking in gnome, and the gnome's like, and Carl's like, and they're like kind of talking back to one another, and this gnome, this awful and he looks at everybody, he goes, well, you see, we kind of like interrupted. This was their territory. They thought that we were here to hurt them. He scared them, and he points at Dren.
That's bullshit, Carl. What were they waiting for?
Yeah, they were hiding behind the rocks.
He says that they're the warriors for his people, and he points up into the
I
hills.
still got
and
the
you
dart sticking out my face, by the way.
yeah. And he points up the hill, and you see a small hole in the side of the hill that you can only rightfully assume is probably the entrance to their town, their city, their conclave of gnomes. And he said they just felt threatened.
What?
That's very accurate. They were threatened after they threatened us.
If they had left us alone, they would be alive now.
He listens to the gnome like, and he says, Carl says, he says if you let him go, that he'll never tell anybody.
I want to cast Zone of Truth in the center of this group.
Okay.
Let him go.
Yeah, and then gnome's like, and it just like spills more and more stuff, and Carl's like trying to keep up, and he's like, now he's saying that he really did not mean to attack us. They were just watching us. They were supposed to be reporting on our activity.
Reporting? Who are you supposed to report to?
Carl continues to repeat. He said that the town of Greyhawk is dialects weird. Oh yes, Greyhawk thought that we weren't gonna make it, and they wanted to make sure we didn't abandon our post.
Oh, great. Great.
Wait, hold on.
Ricky starts directly.
Wait, you broke out. I didn't really hear all that. What did you say?
I think we broke Ricky. Ricky.
Oh my god.
And
Quarterback.
Carl, with that, Carl says, Ricky, and the gnome once again spatters some stuff, and Ricky kind of looks to the group, Carl looks to the group, and he says, I don't think that he meant any harm.
They shot a dart in my face.
Great. Why don't you? I
You
think it's safe.
startled them. This is why I keep saying we need to let him meet. I'm gonna try them.
Yeah. Sorry, say that last part again. You broke up just a smidge, Scott.
I'm gonna go see if any of them are still alive and try and heal them. I know that's probably not likely considering Ricky got to them.
No,
but-
they are super dead. Everybody is super dead.
Well, I feel bad now.
So,
People who don't want to die
with-
shouldn't throw darts.
and it is Ricky's cackling laughter as the camera pans outwards on this basin next to this lake where we will end today's episode. Ricky's laughter carries upwards and out. Carl even joins you a little bit confused.
Shut up, Carl.
And it is and it is laughter that we end our session with today. Well, that was interesting. What we're gonna do is quickly go around to cast and crew and let you introduce yourself and tell us where we can find you online, because we're in our last couple minutes and I definitely don't want to run over. My cat is on something she's not supposed to be on, and she's gonna be in trouble here in a minute. Yeah, so we're gonna go around to cast and crew and we'll get this ball rolling. So let's actually go the opposite direction. Paul, you're up first.
I'm confused what just happened, but hi, I'm Paul, Inwo123. I tried to be less psychotic, and it still turned out bloody. So I don't know, but definitely fun. Yeah, What the fuck? You can find me at twitch.tv/in1123. Twitter's at in1123. I'm a variety caster here on Twitch. Just playing random games. I loved every moment. I'm confused, but it's like a good confusion. Like, yay, more shit. Yeah. That's it, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Awesome. Moving right on down the line, should I believe, if I remember correctly, Miss Lauren. How are we today, Miss Lauren?
I'm fine.
Mhm.
What's up? Yeah. Hi. That was an episode. A lot of shit happened. I was lots of emotions. All the emotions. It was a rainbow of emotions. You can find me over on Twitter at thatsaltyginger.
Mhm.
I play games sometimes. The big thing I want to promote though is tomorrow night, Sunday, on Grimjack 21502 at 7 p.m. Eastern is our Project Athena season finale.
Ooh.
These
Yes.
are always, they're always super emotional and high stakes, and it's my favorite thing. So if you're looking for something to do tomorrow night, before the show on the Greyhawk channel starts, we run a little before them. Come check it out. We punch Nazis, we fight eldritch monsters, we go insane, we fall in love, we get our hearts broken. It's the best. So come check that out.
Very cool. Yes, and if it's Grim, I know it's gonna be a killer ending, no doubt. He's one of my favorite storytellers. So you guys should definitely check that out. And moving right on down the line, Scott.
Hello, everyone. I am Lauren Scott Peterson, or you can find me on Twitter at DM_LSP. Yeah, it was a fun session. Yeah, Kristen's mad, y'all.
Yep.
I mean, like, when isn't he? But he's mad.
He's so super grump.
It's like everything he believes in has just been the opposite has been happening.
It's like, okay, all right, cool. There's no stopping the violence. I guess I paid at this point. I should have just never picked up that javelin. Should have just never done it. I debated it. It was going on in my head. I'm like, do I pick it up?
Peer
No,
pressure.
I don't want Ural to be sad that he threw a javelin at me and I didn't participate. And I should have just not done a damn thing.
I
And
would
did,
have.
and it was
Ural would have been
worse.
sad. He would have been sad.
I know you. And you know what? Damn it! From now on, I'm just. It's just a shield. Fuck it.
It's just, but I'll tell you what though, we learned a lot. Just about your fight style alone, I think we learned a lot about.
Yeah,
Kristen
we
today.
did. And let's see. Good talks all around. A lot of heart-to-hearts with you all, and a lot of yelling at Ricky, which I'm sure is not.
And
This
Carl.
is like just the beginning of that.
Who knows? You guys may find yourself on similar sides sooner rather than
We
later.
also didn't add to the Ricky felony chart this week.
Oh,
Oh.
that's right.
I'm surprised.
Wait, we did she?
I mean, if you want to count 5 or 6 murders,
No, murders don't
That-
count. I don't think.
Murders don't.
aren't a felony. Murders don't count.
It's a non-lethal count.
I think if it's self-defense if they attack first, right?
Yep.
That's what Ricky thinks.
I think you'd find that may not hold up in this case, but
Nobody could get
Sure.
her to court.
Brilliant.
in any case, you can find me on Twitter at DM_LSP. I am also the game master of the Nerds on a Roll podcast. You can find us there. We update every other Tuesday, and we play Masks, a game of teenage superheroes trying to figure out who they are and deal with puberty and superpowers. It's really awesome. We're about to hit our finale in the next couple of weeks, so if you haven't
Ooh.
caught up, now's a good time.
All right, nice, very cool. Yeah, the podcast is great. You guys should definitely check that out. And last but certainly not least, Chris. How are you, Chris?
Hello. I'm great. I have thoughts, but I'm going to keep it brief because I know we're about to run out of time.
Yeah, you're
So
good.
that was awesome, and it was great, and I can't wait for next week. It's going to be good. I think we're going to have more deep conversations. I think
Oh, there will be some deep conversations. Where can we
there'll
find
be some conversations. You can find me on Twitter at Pangalactic. I run a D&D resources website called Loot the Room, which is loottheroom.uk, and I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. Loot the Room UK on Twitch as well.
Awesome. And I am Little Red Dot. You can find me online at little_red_dot. I play about 30 hours of tabletop RPGs a week. Between that and writing, I've got so much cool stuff happening in the fall, including the launching of a new series called Monthly Indies, where I'm going to be playtesting indie games on a monthly basis. We start that, in fact, in November, but October will be the fate of the Anchorman. So if you like Anchorman, you like mustaches, and you like polyester, we're going to be telling some serious news over on my channel. So make sure to follow. You can also check me out on Twitter, where I keep my schedule for all the many networks I play on, including this one, Roll For It, the North by Northwest podcast, and on and on and on. So yeah, check us out. If you are new to Greyhawk and you tuned in tonight, please give us a follow here on the channel. They do great storytelling over here and lots of tabletop. As well, you can donate and those kind of things, and we have some pretty cool sponsors which you can check out below. There are some cool deals that you can get on, and it helps support Greyhawk. So until we are back here next Saturday this time, I always tell people not to do anything I wouldn't do, but I think tonight I'm gonna say don't do anything our group wouldn't do, because like, let's be real. I
So
feel like
you're
we've
wide
set
open, do what you want.
a new level. But until next week, you guys have a good one, and we'll be back here rolling dice next Saturday. Bye.
Bye.